McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
And welcome into a Bandwagon Tuesday edition of the Morning Rush. That was Nick Coffey from our conversation yesterday. Does ESPN Radio in Louisville discussing Eric Musselman and the Arkansas job. And as you heard at the tail end of what he had to say, when a job like Louisville comes open, which is a good college basketball job that's won national championships within the last decade or so, his name is going to be mentioned. That's a good thing. You want your head football coach. You want your head basketball coach. Now, your baseball coach isn't going to get mentioned because he's not leaving ever. He's going to retire here at Arkansas. But if Sam Pittman has a good year and he's mentioned elsewhere, that's good because that means he's wanted elsewhere. It's bad when your football coach is not wanted elsewhere, which is the case right now. Sam Pittman turns it around. He's probably not going to be in mentioned other coaching searches because he's already been open and honest that he's going to retire here. But Muss has been mentioned in some coaching searches the last couple years since his success at Arkansas. But there is an important factoid of you, if you will, that what Coffey said in there, that Muss made this job attractable again. Now, I, for one, hope that Eric Musselman is still your basketball coach as of 2024 and 2025. I tend to think that for the first time he was embarrassed, humiliated, flabbergasted at how his team did not perform to his expectations, to your expectations, and to national expectations. ESPN, SEC, they all projected you to be good, and you weren't. And I think that's going to fuel him to be a lot better next year and get back to the Arkansas basketball that we've seen the last 3 years. At least that's my hope. But again, if he decides to go, and that's his prerogative, that's for his family, whatever the reason is, this is still a really good basketball job. In fact, it's still the second best job in the SEC, only behind Kentucky. Some will debate that. Some will agree with that. But a lot of national people will tell you, and coaches will tell you, that it is. And he's made it attractable once again. We welcome you in again into a Bandwagon Tuesday edition of the Morning Rush. If you have not signed up for our hitthatline.com bracket challenge, you need to do so. Derek Ruskin, Matt Jones, and others are a part of this. So you got a chance to not only compete against your friends, your family, but other ESPN Arkansas crew members. It's brought to you by our friends at On the Mark Sports Bar and Grill in Fayetteville, 810 Billiards and Bowling in Fort Smith, and Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley. Now, it's really easy to register. Go to hitthatline.com and click on March Madness. Again, the hitthatline.com bracket challenge is easy to find. Hitthatline.com, and it's March Madness, and you'll see it right there. It's also brought to you in part by Walk-On Sports Bistro, Century, Bank of the Ozarks, Cafe Con Chisme, Links at Chaffee Crossing, and Foghorn Sweens. Go today. Hitthatline.com. Make it easy. Make it simple. That's the bandwagon where I start this morning, is again about this Arkansas job. And I know, again, social media yesterday, I get a little annoyed when I see, and I think we do have a lot of great reporters, great journalists in our state, including one that comes on every single Tuesday and Thursday, Tom Murphy. But I get really frustrated when I see certain guys put out GIFs or put out something or put out eyeballs and they don't actually put any substance along with it. So the backstory on reporters and journalists is, in order to keep their sources, in order to keep their intel, they sometimes can't disclose information to the public even when they have it, which stinks a lot of times. That's why they are highly sourced, because again, there is a relationship built between the said source, the said coach, and the said journalist. So I saw a bunch of stuff yesterday. I don't know what it means. Some people say Muss is leaving. Some people say that he signed a contract a contract extension. We don't know. But like I said to start this segment, if he decides to go, this is a job that will attract a lot of coaches. And hopefully it's a school that will attract a lot of recruits. With the transfer portal officially opening yesterday, already seeing Arkansas's name being mentioned by recruits that they've been reached out to by the school. And for Eric Musselman and his staff, they have to do a better job of evaluating this year. And I tend to think, based on his comments on Eric Musselman Live, based on some other things he said during the course of his season, that we're going to see guys more like what we've seen the prior 3 years rather than scores this year. Do you want Tremont Mark and Caleb Battley back? Absolutely. Unless Muss and them mutually decide otherwise, I think from the outside looking in, yes, you want those guys back. But do they want to come back? That's another question. What does the NIL money look like? Again, it's a lot of speculation because we don't have all the answers. It is going to be a fascinating and, in some points, infuriating next couple weeks for this Arkansas basketball program if you're a fan, because you don't feel like that you have the full story behind the scenes of what's going on with the coaching possibility, what's going on with the guys staying on campus. Again, 3 guys have already departed: Keon Minifield, Joseph Pinion, and Denaje Harris. Will there be more? I tend to lean yes, but I've been wrong before. Now, tonight, we have college basketball in the NCAA tournament, the first 4. I'm on the bandwagon of the first 4. It is not the best college basketball in the world. It's very similar to week 0, where not the marquee teams are playing, but you still have a crumb or two of college basketball, as you do college football in week 0. So tonight's schedule is as follows. Wagner against Howard at 5:40 on True TV. Only time America tunes into True TV all year. And then Colorado State against Virginia, 8 o'clock, 8:10 on True TV. I will be watching both those games, and I'll watch the games tomorrow night. Grambling State against Montana State and Colorado against Boise State. There's nothing on right now. You don't have Arkansas baseball tonight, no midweek game. You don't have MLB. They're in spring training. I'm not gonna watch that. You don't have college football, and the real college basketball, the meat, gets going on Thursday, but you at least got some. You get to see maybe a team or two that can pull an upset. Only one time has a team in the play-in game gone to the Final Four. Big C, it's not Trivia Tuesday just yet, but do you know who that team is?
Was it within the last 5 years?
No. 10-plus years ago.
Oh, man. I should know this.
Nothing?
Yeah.
VCU.
That's
VCU
right.
is a team under,
Yeah.
I guess Shaka Smart was still the coach, who's now the coach at Marquette, and they've had a great season. Still waiting on their star player to come back. But VCU was the one team that's participated in a play-in game that has made the NCAA tournament Final Four. Who's going to make the Final Four this year? I know you're trying to determine that. I'm going to finish my bracket today. Haven't started on it just yet, but Phoenix, Arizona is the destination. We're going to get into our favorite first-round sites coming up. Phil was talking about that a little bit yesterday on halftime because Pittsburgh is one of them. We do have college basketball, though, tonight in Dayton, Ohio, and tomorrow for the first 4. Again, I'm on the bandwagon for watching these games tonight. It is going to take me some time to find True TV. I will tell you that. And while we don't have Arkansas baseball at home this weekend, you got LSU coming into town next weekend. Oh, baby. The top 5 matchup we're looking forward to. Doesn't look like they'll be number 2. I think they lost 2 of 3 this weekend. But you do have a chance to see one of the better matchups, not just in the SEC, but in college baseball. It's the best baseball stadium in the country. And SEC play is here. Make sure you watch not just the LSU ranked matchups, but other ranked matchups on the way to Omaha. And if you need tickets or you want to make sure they get used or get sold, sell them at SeatGeek.com, the official resale marketplace of Arkansas Athletics. So plenty to discuss this morning. We've got more college basketball news. Notre Dame joining the SEC. Greg Sankey's thoughts on expansion. And what about college football on Fridays? That's all next.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from tuning.
This is Governor Asa Hutchinson, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
All the Road Hogs have the hog calls and the tailgate ready to roll.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Precision Overhead Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all of your overhead door needs. Fully licensed and insured, with locations in Rogers and Fort Smith, serving all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Give them a call today at 844-PBS-STORE or online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Back-to-back winners of the Best of Award, Gold Best Garage Company in Northwest Arkansas, and also winners of the River Valley Precision Overhead Door.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith, or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
This is Matt Blaylock for Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. For 40 years, we've had the honor and privilege of serving the River Valley. Thank you to all the great customers, contractors, distributors, friends, and family that we've had the opportunity to build lasting relationships with over the past 4 decades. A lot has changed since 1983, but our commitment to providing the highest quality service, sales, and products has not. To get a red truck rolling your way, just give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
A lot of batters have been striking out lately. Don't do that. Hit a home run with Wheeler Power Sports and the Slingshot by Polaris. They're going to make a donation to charity for every strikeout by our favorite college baseball team for the month of March, and for every new Slingshot sold by Wheeler Power Sports. So join the fun and get out on the open road on a new or pre-owned Polaris Slingshot. Check them out online at WheelerPowersports.com or stop by and see them at 901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
If you've lived in the River Valley for a while, you know about the great reputation of Jam Mart. And their newest location at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith is open. Stop by for coffee, gas, beer, snacks, ices, and a clean restroom every time. Don't forget about the hot deli and fresh-made burgers. Now 7 locations in Fort Smith, Greenwood, Boonville, Ozark, and Danville. Sign up for their loyalty program for discounts throughout the stores. Jam Mart, the leading convenience store and gas station in the region.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
One Razorback. One. Saddle to Mackay, kick out. Brazil's open for 3, and it's good. Trevitt Brazil with the tray. Hogs are up 83-80 with 2:45 to go.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
So plenty of basketball to discuss coming up. Blake Lovell is going to join us. Southeastern 14, he was there with me at Bridgestone Arena last week. They used to do radio with Blake. He's about as knowledgeable on SEC basketball as it gets, and he's got a lot of thoughts on the NCAA tournament, which we will talk with him coming up in about 15 minutes via the McLarty Daniel hotline. Got some texters already. this morning, like JC in Hot Springs that guessed it correctly, it was VCU, again, the only team that has ever made the Final Four out of the play-in game. Being Clarksville is ready for CJ's Trivia Tuesday coming up. He's trying to get that $75 gift card. It's $25 BE, but good luck when that comes up at 6:45. Notre Dame in the Southeastern Conference. Do you like that idea? We'll answer that in just a sec. Hey, the Hangout in Fort Smith is the newest fitness center in town. I say new. You've known it for a while. You've known it as Fort Smith Athletic Club or the Racka Club. It's my first time going the last couple months, and I love it. Whether it's seeing June, Lindsay, Vion, all the great staff, Noel, all the great staff over there at the Hangout. It is awesome. They're doing so much. They're adding an outdoor basketball court that's going to be done by the end of the week. They've got a tournament on Sunday. They're adding outdoor soccer there. They're just doing so much. So whether you're looking for indoor tennis, pickleball, basketball, it's an 8,000 square foot gym. They've got indoor and outdoor. Sign up today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different, something that Fort Smith has needed. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out. So I guess we can play Zach Arns' favorite song. Do you want these guys in the SEC? I want to go to South Bend. I'm going to South Bend this year. Arkansas has a bye week in September on the 9th. I'm flying to Chicago that weekend and going with my buddy who lives there in Chicago. His wife is a alumnus of that school. So we are going to make the trek down there. It's an incredible environment. You can hate Notre Dame all you want. That is one of the meccas of college football. I know Zach is very braggadocious about them in the afternoons. I don't know much about their now basketball. I couldn't even tell you if Mike Bray's still their head basketball coach or not, and much about their baseball program. But what they do is brand and tradition in football. Now, they haven't won a national championship in quite some time. They've been there. They went there with Manti Te'o and got absolutely annihilated by Alabama, but plenty of teams over the years have said that. So Paul Feinbaum thinks that Notre Dame is going to join a conference at some. It is going to happen in the near future. A lot of people think Big Ten. The new Big Ten commissioner has a Notre Dame connection of sorts. Notre Dame has had that deal with NBC for quite some time, and their new deal with the college football playoff, there's a couple things that you need to think about. They get an at-large spot based on their college football ranking. They also get them in the group of 5 teams, roughly 10% of the revenue made from the college football playoff, which I think is $1.3 billion a year. The SEC and Big Ten schools are going to get a lot of money, $20+ million from the new college football playoff. Notre Dame is going to get about $12.5 million. And then if Notre Dame and other independents qualify to the playoff, they will receive a flat fee of $6 million. So, again, the Fighting Irish are still set to make money. They, to me, are going to join either the Big Ten or the SEC soon. But is that desirable for you? Like Texas and Oklahoma, you can hate the Sooners, you can hate the Longhorns, but regionally, it's not that far off. I mean, Arkansas and Missouri, the two westernmost schools of the Southeastern Conference. Notre Dame, though, in Chicago, or outside of Chicago and South Bend, that's a major difference.
Yeah, regionally it doesn't make sense. I think they're just a little too flashy for the SEC. Like they're I'm not going to say they're not a physical team, but they're the Golden Domers. They've kind of got their own brand, I guess you could say, and I think that's part of the reason why they don't want to join a conference is because they feel like joining a conference may take away from their brand, and I'm not totally sure if that's the case or not, but I don't think they need to be in the SEC. Yeah, that's just my opinion.
I wonder from their athletics director's shoes and other fans where college football, because the main driving force in all this is college football is headed. Is that now desirable for them? Because we're getting some text already here via the McLarty Daniel hotline. Harry Dog in Fayetteville says Zach is going to be devastated if this happens. He thinks he's going to be butthurt every single Sunday. Yes, because they will lose a lot of those games. Matt reminds me that Notre Dame did beat a great Tony Vitello team in the Supers 2 years ago in Knoxville. That's a great point, Zach. I'd forgotten about that. They went to Knoxville with that dominant Tennessee team and ended up beating them, which was fantastic. I think it's going to happen, but I think they're going to go to the Big Ten. Yeah. The Big Ten, from a regional standpoint, from a feel, makes sense. What I think about is from Greg Sankey's standpoint, he's always of the idea of adding money, adding to the pot, and increasing the viewership and the money for his institutions. Notre Dame would do that, and they would do that heavily, just like Texas and Oklahoma. Like them or not, that is two massive fan bases that are not just in the cities of Austin, Texas, and Norman, Oklahoma. They are nationwide fan bases, and they travel well, and they are big football brands. Because while basketball and baseball are still big deals in this conference, football pushes everything. Football pays for everything. And Notre Dame, I mean, think about all these years being on NBC, what they bring in from that contract and how they would go about potentially changing it up in the near future. I think from my vantage point, I think they're going to join the Big Ten, but I would kind of like them in the SEC. I think that would be really cool. The conferences, again, have shifted away from the actual regional aspect that we've known for all these years. That's where college football is headed. The Big Ten is already making more money than you with their television contract. Now, the college football playoff one that I just mentioned, it's split down the middle. I don't know if Greg Sankey, if I'm thinking in his shoes, wants to let Notre Dame go to the Big Ten to add to their pool, because there will be more teams added to the SEC and the Big Ten. It's just a matter of who it's going to be.
Yeah, the Big Ten better go ahead and try to get Notre Dame as quick as they can. That's for sure, because I think that will boost their conference up even more, even though they just won the national title. You got Michigan, Notre Dame, Ohio State in there. Yeah, I think that would be great for the conference as a whole.
Tell you what else is great is our friends at TGI Fridays Happy Hour from Monday through Friday. Listen, there's two of them. You got 3 to 6 and 9 to close. Listen to these deals. Half price drinks on menu listed beverages, plus $5 select appetizers like potato skins, spinach dip, mozzarella sticks, which I'm a big fan of, pot stickers, and steakhouse meatballs. Now, I'm a big fan of the Cajun chicken and shrimp pasta. I get that every single time I go there. So if you want a great happy hour, not just once, but twice a day, Monday through Friday, then TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is the place to be. Right off the interstate, come by and see them today, and perfect for the college basketball this week. When we return, we'll take your calls on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, and we'll talk to our friend Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14 next.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
This is former Razorback Chris Gregg, and you're listening to...
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McLarty Daniel Hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. With up-to-the-minute odds, stats, and trends, you can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop or mobile device. Head to BetOnline today to become part of the team. And remember to use the promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor A from Woodland. Read about it.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sockeye.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. With up-to-the-minute odds, stats, and trends, you can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop or mobile device.
Anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
And if you haven't done that, I would highly recommend you to do so. It's easy. Again, Google Play, Apple App Store, Hit That Line now. All of our YouTube content, all of our live streaming video, all of our stuff that you see on hitthatline.com is on there. It's very easy. You can list it anywhere, just like on hitthatline.com. All right, we're going to take a phone call, and then we're going to talk to Blake Lovell coming up in just a bit. But first, I want to tell you about our friends at the Inn at the Mill. It's where we stay when we're in Northwest Arkansas for game weekend. It's perfect off the Johnson exit. So if you need to get to Springdale, Rogers, Bentonville, or you need to get to Fayetteville for any sporting event, you can do so. Again, no games baseball-wise this weekend, but next weekend, might need to call and get a reservation. This is not a 2-night minimum like it is during football season. Baseball, it's just one. You can call them at 479-443-1800, or you can check them out online at inatthemill.com. Again, inatthemill.com, 479-443-1800. It's a great place. I've stayed at both. They've got 2 different hotels on the complex, and I've stayed at both of them. They are fantastic. Again, off the I-49 and Johnson exit, really close to everything in Northwest Arkansas. Breakfast is European style. Call them or stop by and see them today at the Inn at the Mill. All right, Ozzie Maverick is in Conway this morning on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. He wants to talk about Hunter Yurachek. What's up, Ozzie?
Well, what's going on, Mr. Ty? By the way, I've stayed at that hotel, and as somebody that's stayed at plenty of hotels in my life, that is good. If you use promo code Ozzie Maverick booking online, you get a 69% off discount. But listen, I want to talk to you today about Mr. Hunter Yurachek. Now, Mr. Ty, in the words of Joe Namath, I could care less about Notre Dame joining the SEC and struggling. We've got bigger problems at hand. Now, listen, what I'm about to talk about doesn't apply to the baseball team. The baseball team has a chance to do something that we've never done before. And I'm not going to say it. You know what it is. But everything else, we are struggling. Now, I get on Twitter a time or two. I see rumors about Muss maybe leaving. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know they're trending down. I know football, you should have fired Sam, I don't know, Pittman. And by the way, did I mention what's going on with the women's basketball program? Now, I'll be the first one to admit to you, whenever I see people transferring, that's part of the age we live in with the transfer portal. It's not just role players that we're losing on the women's basketball team. It's star players. And the bigger problem behind that is it's a symptom of a bigger problem. And that's Hunter, the incompetent Yurachek. I'm done with it, Ty. We need to get an athletic director that could actually get some quality coaches, and I'm not talking about Dave Van Horn, and you don't get credit for Dave Van Horn, Hunter Yurachek. Frank Burrell's hired that man.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get an athletic director that knows what he's doing, that has the pulse of the state of Arkansas, and that can grasp the concept of NIL. And I understand it's a complex issue, but I assure you, as somebody that's lived and worked in the state of Mississippi, the worst state in the union, if they can get it, we can too.
With an Arkansas, by the way, with an Arkansas native who's the head of that athletics department, and Keith Carter from Perryville. Go ahead. Just wanted to mention that.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Keith Carter was before my time, Ty, but just like on the court, he's given us the business on and off the court. It seemed like every time I watched Keith Carter was an Arkansas highlight. But with that being said, that's about all I got. I'm not saying, hey, let's make a deal. I'm saying this is the deal. And in the words, and I have a dream that we can get the right athletic director to ultimately get all of this done. And in the words of Ben Rector, dream on. I'm out.
Well, there's a lot to take in there. And I don't think that Ozzie is 1,000% wrong on many of the things that he just said. That your football team went 4-8 last year. That's unacceptable. Sam knows that. Hunter knows that. The decision not to fire Sam Pittman, there's a lot of speculation of why. There's some that will say that the Razorback Foundation said no. They wouldn't give him the money to do so. There's some that say that, well, Hunter fires Sam, then he feels like that hire was a failure. And there's some that say that he still believes in him, that he could turn it around. And one of the ways they're trying to do that is with Bobby Petrino and that offense, which was just impossible to take in and watch last year. And he's right about the basketball team, too. They are trending down. They are below 500 in conference the last 2 years. The win over Kansas was the redeemer last season. Now, all that matters in college basketball is postseason. If Tennessee loses in one of these first 2 games coming up, their season was a failure. There is no one that can convince me otherwise. They failed, and Rick Barnes failed as a coach this year. So that's how you have to approach that, in my opinion. Not everyone will agree with that, as they won the SEC regular season title, but postseason matters in college sports. It matters in every sport. He mentioned the women's basketball program. Mike Neighbors' seat is the hottest it's ever been here in Arkansas. There's no question about that. I will disclose that I love Mike Neighbors. Mike has been a great guy to me. I think he's a great human being. He listens to this show. He listens to our airways. He's on this airways. He's a great guy. But it is very difficult as an Arkansas women's basketball fan to comprehend losing Saylor Poffenbarger, Talia Scott, and how this season played out this year. I don't know. What I have said about this before is I am not qualified to touch on the women's basketball program in depth because I don't watch it enough. And I can't tell you every single player on that roster. And I can't tell you the ins and outs of what's going on there. So I tend to stay away from saying that someone should be fired because I'm not, again, in it enough. Now I'll speak to I'll speak to men's basketball, football, and baseball as much as humanly possible because I feel competent enough to be able to talk about those subjects. Again, Ozzy's not the only one that thinks that about. I hope Nabes turns it around. I really do. But he's in a tough spot right now. I don't know what's going to happen with the future of that program. I hope he, again, fixes it. But I understand why people don't. In regards to Hunter Yurachek, again, 2021, think about what happened. 9-win football season. Elite Eight basketball, and then you follow it up, 2021, 2022 baseball, makes the College World Series, last game before the College World Series final. It was immaculate. It was great. It's some of the best in program history, and yet it's where it is now. They've got to figure it out. And it starts with Sam Pittman in football this year. Baseball is going to keep churning. Dave's going to keep doing what he does. But football's got to figure it out. You got to at least get a bowl game. If you don't go to a bowl game, you're going to have to, and you can't keep Sam Pittman. You can't do it. Basketball team, again, in the midst of figuring out who your coach is going to be, or at least from the outside looking in, is it still going to be Muss? What's that look like? Who's coming back? Who are they bringing in? So a lot of questions have to be answered. And I don't blame Ozzy from having those opinions because he's not the only one that feels that way. All right, let's segue. Talk to our friend Blake Lovell, Southeastern 14, as he joins us now via the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Blake, a lot of fans disappointed with Arkansas athletics right now, and particularly Arkansas basketball. Your opinion, what went wrong for this team this year?
I mean, it's hard to know fully what would happen, I guess, as we've talked about this year, Ty. I mean, it's one of those things where I think in the era that we're in, you're just going to get years like this, and, we just aren't used to seeing it from Muss. I mean, he was kind of the one that was batting the highest percentage when it came to, hitting on transfers and all that kind of stuff. And, I mean, again, the talent I thought was there. They just did not have the chemistry. There were just things that did not come together on the floor the way that we thought it would. And I just think, this is one of those teams that, ultimately we're probably going to look back on and say, how did that happen? Because I don't think this is the norm there. Obviously it hasn't been. So, there are probably lots of different reasons, whether, on the floor you can say, well, they weren't a great defensive team. They didn't do this well. They didn't do that well. The shooting didn't improve, all that. But I just think sometimes it comes down to if a coach is playing, 15 million rotations throughout the year, he's clearly not found a mix that works. And that just seemed to be the problem all year. So
when you look at what's going to happen these next few weeks with the transfer portal, do you believe that Eric Musselman is going to respond, assuming he's the Arkansas head basketball coach, and put together a team like he had the previous 3 years?
Well, I think at least if you want to look at the positive of the situation, I think it's that this certainly teaches you something because, again, he had just not really been in this spot before, and he had just kind of been used to, all right, well, it's going to work. We're going to use the exact same formula every single year, and obviously each team is different, but we kind of know, how we need to do this. This is step one, this is step two, and so forth. But I mean, that process probably changes a little bit now, because there may be certain things that he saw with his team that all of a sudden, you go back to the drawing board and say, all right, that's not something we can bring in because clearly that did not work. Whatever kind of skill or whatever it is, right? And I think that will at least give him something to where, call it the revenge tour, whatever you want to call it. I think he will certainly be way more, critical of certain things as he's going out and trying to find the guys who fit into what they want to do next season. So that is the one thing I would say is I think you can at least use this as a learning experience. And again, if you're just looking at the law of averages, they have to come back in the direction of what we've seen from us all these years before this one.
Talking with, again, Blake Lovell, Southeastern 14, covers the SEC and other college basketball. So Arkansas is not an NCAA tournament team. We just saw the SEC tournament. I don't think anyone expected it to play out like it did with upsets. Kentucky, Tennessee going down early. What SEC team do you trust starting on Thursday?
Boy, that's it's interesting because as many good seeds that the SEC has. I mean, as we always say, this thing's about matchups, and I can't say that I just completely love any SEC team draw, but I think that looking at the way that the bracket unfolds for each of these teams, I don't hate Kentucky's draw. Now the problem is, you asked me if I trust Kentucky. Well, I mean, it's still a team that is as talented as anybody, but there have been times, and they've given us reasons not to trust them, whether it's just, the defense slipping up at times like that or anything. But I think they may have the best path of anybody. Everybody's going to circle the Tennessee-St. Peter's matchup, and if you're asking me again, who do I trust? Unfortunately, as we both saw, Tennessee gave you a reason not to trust them in the SEC tournament. It kind of became sort of the thing that has stood out with them over the past several years, like it came right back with the, just complete lackluster offense and all of that. So I would say Auburn, Ty, if they weren't in the bracket of death over there with UConn and Iowa State and Illinois and all those teams. But I will say this too, if there's a team that matches up well with UConn, I think Auburn's probably the team in the SEC that does it the best. And so, again, it's not fully trusting them, but it's hard to say that there's a team that I just completely trust, just because, again, it's all about the matchups. But if I want to turn it towards maybe who has the best path to the Final Four, I would probably say that the Kentucky would fit the bill there.
Kentucky, I saw a stat, they're like 343rd out of 363 teams in defense. I believe that's correct. You mentioned Auburn. Auburn got a 4 after being tied for second in the SEC regular season and then also winning the conference tournament, which their fans were furious, also including being paired with UConn and Iowa State. To me, Auburn might have gotten the shortest end of the stick of any SEC team based on their draw. Do you agree?
Yep, I think that's absolutely the case. I just think that, again, what happened here, and this is something that I think, we've heard coaches talk about it over the past little while, but I think you're really going to see this start to change potentially moving forward based on what happened this year, because this isn't just a one-year thing. It's now a trend. Conference tournament didn't mean anything for anybody. And, I think other than the bubble teams, it meant nothing for the higher seed, because otherwise, again, there's no reason to kind of look at this and say, why is Auburn put in the toughest part of the bracket? And so, it didn't mean anything. And I think that's got to be frustrating because, as I pointed out to people yesterday, it's like, you think about it, if we say that phrase, the tournament didn't mean anything. Well, how do you think Todd Golden feels right now? That he had his team on a great run all the way to the SEC championship with a chance to, some people thought, maybe move up to as far as a 5 seed. And then he loses his starting center 3 minutes into the championship game. That ultimately didn't mean a thing. And so, that's the kind of thing that coaches are going to have to think about now. And I think that's going to be frustrating for them because, unless they figure something out, I think it's clearer than ever in the SEC the past 3 or 4 years at least, tournament's not meant anything, at least for teams that are already set in their, kind of speed range or whatever. If you're a non-bubble team, it's not doing anything for you. So, I think Auburn definitely got the short end of the stick there.
Blake Lovell, Southeastern 14 with us here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Do we need to do away with net and reevaluate the metrics that we use to qualify teams for the NCAA tournament?
It's not a terrible idea because I think whatever we're using right now, I mean, there's just, again, as you know, there's so many ways you can look at the data and exploit the data to push it this way or that way. But I mean, the net is probably more about just kind of arranging teams in a certain group to kind of at least compare and all that. But I'm not saying I have the perfect formula, but I still think there are ways that we can continue to get better at this from the NCAA tournament selection process standpoint. And again, we also know that the tournament's going to expand sooner rather than later. I just think there's no doubt about that now. And again, you're going to have to continue to evolve kind of the metrics that you use and all that to judge exactly how you're going to put teams in there. Because if not, we know what's going to happen. If you do expand the tournament, well, yeah, here's what the most likely situation is going to be. You're just going to keep loading up on power conference teams that go 7-11 in their conference versus, the second best team in whatever conference you want to put out there, the SoCon or whatever, right? So that's going to be the challenge. And so I think whatever metrics they use, whether it's the net and other things, they're going to have to continue to evolve kind of how they look at those things to judge who should be in the tournament and how they're going to see them. So.
Blake, the number one story here in Fayetteville and across Arkansas amongst fans is what is the status of Eric Musselman? It's probably followed by Arcala Fattle and Tremont Mark coming back. Let me ask you this, because I asked Nick Coffey this yesterday, who admitted he was a fan, did radio in Louisville, thinks Louisville's the better job. What is the better job between the Arkansas Razorback and the Louisville Cardinals basketball job?
Ooh, I mean, obviously, I think I do tend to think, it's closer than people would want to admit, just because of how bad, Louisville was under the previous regime here. But it's still a job where if you get the right resources available to you, and that's the thing too, right? Anytime we answer this question now, the biggest part of this answer is always going to come, well, who's given the most out when it comes to NIL and resources? Because that's really what this is all about now. We can look at history and say this team was great back in the 1980s and all this, but the fact is, if you're not getting the resources available to you, and you're not able to compete with all the other schools in your conference, which we know Arkansas, I think, is, because otherwise they wouldn't be getting the kind of players that they are. It's harder to say that just going on traditional history. If you ask me right now which job would I take, I'm not just saying this because I'm on your show, but I would probably take the Arkansas job because I just think that as of right now, based on the momentum they built over the past however many years now, Eric Musselman, minus this season, I still think it's the job right now that you're probably going to maybe see coaches look at and say, all right, we feel pretty good about where things are set here, and we feel like we can just completely come in and win right away. But the thing is, Ty, right, I'm not saying that can't be the case for Louisville either, because if you get the coach that comes in there and they're saying, hey, we're going to give you everything you need, everything NIL, everything transfer-wise, like every possible resource you need to be successful, then there's no reason we could just sit here and say, all right, we're going to discount Louisville, because they can absolutely win right away with the next coach, whoever it is, if they're willing to put it in there. And you know what? They have over the years. Like, they've been willing to invest in their basketball program, and so it's a close race. So I can't say that there's a clear winner one way or the other, just because it really comes down to what is each school willing to give, out, and is Louisville willing to give more than Arkansas is? If so, that makes it a very attractive job to anybody out there.
Blake, follow up, and we'll let you go with this. Do you think Eric Musselman stays the Arkansas basketball coach?
Oh, we've talked about this, off air, and I think there was a time where I was probably, I think he's leaving, but I just haven't heard a lot of chatter about it as much as I was there for probably, a couple weeks ago. And so that makes me wonder exactly what the next thing's going to be. I do still think there's a possibility he's not, but all I'll say is I haven't heard as much on my end that I was hearing pretty much daily and weekly for about a couple of weeks there. So it's going to be interesting.
Blake Lovell, Southeastern 14. Blake and I sat next to each other in Nashville in 2018. We watched Nevada come back from like 19 down against Cincinnati when Muss was the head coach. Never my wildest dreams would I expect him to take over the Arkansas job, but that's where we are here in 2024. Blake, always appreciate the time, man. Good to catch up. Good to see you last week at Bridgestone Arena, and we'll see if we have to bring you back on after a coaching change potentially down the road.
Sounds good, Ty. Thanks, man.
All right, that is Blake. Well, again, Lovell, Southeastern 14. Blake is covered SEC basketball for 20-something years. He's got a lot of different sources. I trust him when it comes to stuff like this, and hopefully, again, that alleviates some of y'all's nervousness about Muss leaving schools. I haven't gotten a sense, and maybe I'm wrong, You can get at us on the McLarty Daniel hotline. I haven't gotten the sense that many of you want Eric Musselman to leave. That is not the sense that I get. But, again, I have been wrong before. All right, let's go back to the McLarty Daniel hotline. We'll push our CJ's Trivia Tuesday back into the 7 o'clock hour. So if you've been listening, trying to get that answer, we will do that to start the 7 o'clock hour. But for now, we talk to this guy, Gentle Ben, who I haven't heard from quite some time. Gentle Ben, you want to talk some Arkansas baseball this morning. Welcome into the program.
I wouldn't mind if switching it to basketball. Is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I really enjoyed that interview that I was just listening to, hanging on the phone here, and it was really good. I really think Muss will stay. Well, I hope he does. And but that guy had a lot of good points about. It almost seemed like he didn't know, of course, in his opinion. But I hope that we're going to fork over enough money and outbid Louisville as far as salary goes to keep him here and. Whatever it takes there. And then also, I hope the fans who can, which I'm not one of, that can, put the money out there for the NIL, I hope we have it so we can compete with the Kentuckys and everybody else, But cause that guy was 100% right. That's what it's all about. And anyway, it's just going to be interesting to see how that goes, and it was something really interesting about how you compared Arkansas with Louisville, like it was a toss-up or whatever. How do y'all think, how do you guys think as far as Musselman staying, and are we going to be able to put up enough NIL money and that kind of thing?
Well, this is an interesting question. And, Gentle Ben, I'm glad you called in because it's been a while since we've heard from you. Hunter Yurachek has been outspoken about making sure that contracts are incentive-based and making sure that coaches on this campus are doing things from the winning side and getting, again, paid for that. Muss didn't win last year. Now you're going to have to pay more to potentially keep him. It's odd, right? It's not exactly what Hunter's been saying on this. And I realize each situation is different, but how he goes about this, I'm going to find interesting when the contract financials come out. All right, we got hour 2 coming up here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. Plenty more bandwagons to jump on and jump off. One of them that you could jump on is one of these new Brinkley RVs from Wheels RV in Arkansas. They've added it to their Grand Design and Forest River products. You need to come check out the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. Come see Chris. Come see Lee J. Come see Shane and the gang at Wheels RV. Get that lifetime warranty with every new RV so you can camp with confidence. They're voted the best RV dealer year after year. Come see why 5 miles west off exit 72 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV. Hour 2 coming at you next.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hello there, homeowner. Roger Scott for Leaf Guard Gutters of Arkansas. Are you tired of dealing with clogged gutters, climbing ladders, and worrying about potential damage to your home? Well, listen up to me now. Leaf Guard of Arkansas has got you covered. Introducing Leaf Guard, the only true one-piece seamless covered gutter system on the market, guaranteed to never, ever clog. With Leaf Guard, you can kiss goodbye to all the hassle of climbing up and cleaning out all that muck and mud and shingle grit. No more hiring someone else to do it, or worse yet, risking serious damage and issues by doing nothing at all. Spring is finally here, which means it's time for Leaf Guard's famous Ugly Gutter event. Leaf Guard will swoop in, take down, and haul away all those unsightly gutters at absolutely no charge, and you'll receive an incredible 60% off installation on a whole house Leaf Guard gutter system. But wait, there's more. Ask about the 0% financing options and additional discounts for seniors and military personnel. Do not let ugly gutters ruin your home's curb appeal or cause costly damage. Call 501-664-5400 or visit LeafGuardandMore.com to schedule your free estimate today. Leaf Guard of Arkansas, protecting your home one seamless gutter at a time.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Morning Rush.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Free Diamond Madness this March at the Diamond Center. During the month of March, Diamond Center is giving away a free live-grown diamond with the purchase of any natural earth-grown diamond, 1 carat or larger, or with the purchase of any qualifying in-stock setting. All you have to do is pick out the perfect engagement ring and we'll take care of the rest. All backed by our free lifetime warranty. This is a can't-miss opportunity. Don't miss out on free Diamond Madness the entire month of March only at the Diamond Center, celebrating a legacy of love.
Hey, I'm Hagen Smith. As an Arkansas pitcher, I know the importance of precision, skill, and keeping cool under pressure. That's why for your home, choosing the right team for heating and air is just as important. You want professionals who bring their best game. When it comes to staying comfortable, I rely on Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. They'll send pros to take care of your home, too. So sign up now for Pascal's Plan Protection membership before the summer heat for only $8.99 a month. Never pay for a tune-up again when they're included in your membership. Professional people, professional service. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every Friday is Fajita Friday, featuring their charbroiled steak and chicken. It's tender, full of flavor, and comes with all the fixings. Saturdays are for endless enchiladas with Joe's homemade enchilada sauce and all the beef, chicken, or cheese enchiladas you can eat. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Jaeger's Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Get these red-hot buys at any of our 4 locations. Ace 2-gallon home and garden sprayer only $17.99 with your Ace Rewards card. Flour and vegetable seeds, 25 cents each. Save $20 to $60 on Milwaukee, Craftsman, and DeWalt power tools with your Ace Rewards card. And check out our huge selection of Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone grills at everyday low prices. Find us online at JagersHardware.com.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $425 off of your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, blue sky, sunshine, not going to be quite as cool. Our high this afternoon, low to mid 60s. We're nice and clear tonight, and overnight low drops down low to mid 40s. Sunny skies on Wednesday with a slight chance of showers across the north. Our high in the low 70s, and then a chance of showers again Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your morning.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
I've always been very, very high on Eric Musselman, as I'm sure you guys have. I think he's actually reminded a lot of folks outside of Arkansas how good of a basketball job that is, just with the early success that he's had, energized the fan base. His name is obviously going to come up when a big job like Louisville comes open just because of what he's done.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's really good to hear from Gentleman in Saline County this past segment. Saline County. Hadn't heard from him in quite some time. It's the first time Big C had ever heard him on these airwaves, and he's been here a year and a half. So good to hear from Gentleman. Good to hear from all of you this morning on the McLarty Daniel Hotline at 877-377-6963. He brought up Eric Musselman, like a couple more of you have. JT in Hot Springs recommends that they should keep the contract the same, but add a $500,000 bonus for winning the SEC, and another $500,000 bonus for making the Final Four, an additional $500,000 bonus for winning the national championship. So he's about that $500,000 mark. Gordon Amina says, "We are insane if we can't do anything to keep Muss. This was a bad year. Do we not remember how many bad seasons we had before him? He's a winner, and we all know that. His only losing season in 23 years of coaching." Gordon, I'm not 100% that's correct. I know that in college, this is his only losing season, but I believe at some point in the NBA or the CBA he did that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is incorrect, but I feel like that's not 100% accurate. Either way, I do agree with you. I hope Arkansas does what it can do to keep Eric Musselman. We'll talk more about that coming up. Ozzy from Conway had some interesting thoughts on Hunter Yurchek, a beef of sorts that we'll talk a little more about, too, here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. I'm on the bandwagon that Arkansas basketball is a really good job. If Eric Musselman decides that he's better off elsewhere, then I think you're going to get a lot of viable candidates that are interested in this position, as you heard Nick Coffey of ESPN Radio Louisville on the top of our open. Hey, this morning we are brought to you by our friends at APAC Arcola. They have job openings in the Boone, Marion, and Baxter County areas. And if you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, concrete finisher, diesel mechanic, or have paving or concrete labor experience, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, profit sharing. Apply online at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
It's delicious.
There must be 50 customers out there. It's unbelievable.
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
Here is your CJ's Trivia Tuesday question. We had to push back a little bit because we had a call, and then we went a little long with Blake Lovell, who, again, was kind enough to join us this morning. Houston is the number one seed again. They were number one seed last year, and they're number one seed this year. I'm not a believer in the Cougars to win the national championship. Some of you have picked them to win your bracket. You can do so on hitthatline.com, where you tell you about a little more in just a bit. What was, and you got to call in, if you want to win this $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card, call in on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. What was the nickname for the Houston team in college back in the 80s? What was that nickname? Clyde Drexler, also Hakeem Olajuwon played on those teams back in the day. This is an easy question, y'all. Easy question. The nickname for the Houston team back in the 80s that Arkansas beat. I know that, again, sometimes the years run together for me because you beat a Houston team. I don't remember that team, but when you hear a nickname, you hear Houston, you should know exactly what that is. Clyde Drexler, Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the better teams in college basketball. I believe if I remember that right, that team lost to North Carolina State and Jim Valvano and Wittenberg to Charles. I'm forgetting the exact point. Again, that's a little before my time. But what was the nickname for that team? We will get to that in just a bit. And we're getting we're getting text, y'all. Josh and Harrison, Britt from Subiaco, Jamie May, Chad and Texarkana, Flash, and Damien, you guys are all correct. But you had to call in to win the $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card. Again, when we do this each and every week, usually at 6:45, we pushed it back a little bit because of a call. You got to call in to be able to win this. Again, 877-377-6963. I appreciate all the responses regardless, but you got to be able to call to keep that in. Christian, who do we have on the line right now that is called in to win this gift card?
Ethan in Russellville.
Ethan in Russellville. What is the answer to the CJ's Trivia Tuesday question here this morning?
Yes, sir, I've got it.
Go right ahead.
Phi Slamma Jamma.
Boom. That is right. Phi Slamma Jamma. One of the coolest college basketball nicknames ever to grace a team in any decade. Phi Slamma Jamma. Well, Ethan, congratulations. You've won a $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card. What is your favorite thing to get at CJ's, man?
My favorite day is Friday, and it's always Friday at CJ's.
Always Friday at CJ's. Well, Ethan, have a great rest of your day. We will mail you that gift card, and we appreciate you loving CJ's and listening to the Morning Rush, my man.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Again, Ethan's in Russellville at the original location off Arkansas Avenue. You've got the Fayetteville location off Weddington, which you can always stop by and see Keith and his team there, or Keith and his Sally and their team at the Russellville location. Best burgers, best fries, best shakes around. I actually enjoy the chicken sandwich up in the Northwest Arkansas location. Tommy talks about the salads. I still have a can of my Butcher Boy Burger, or bottle, of my Butcher Boy Burger seasoning. So whether you want CJ's at either of those locations, in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium in the fall, or if you want to take it home with you, CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers, get that seasoning at your local Harps and at both locations. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best, and they are at CJ's. Football and basketball right now. Hunter Yurchek would have loved to be in the position that he was in 2021 and early 2022. When your football, your basketball, and your baseball program were in great spots. Now, they're under the weather of sorts, and he's got to figure that out. Sam Pittman has to have a winning season this year, or at least a bowl game. I guess they could go 6-7, and I think they would keep Sam. But if you don't do that, this fan base is coming for him. That is just what is going to happen this year. And you could say that's not fair. You could say, well, they should have let him go last year. I don't think that is unfair for this fan base to be angry, mad, and want Sam gone if they don't make a bowl game. Now, if they make a bowl game, I think he needs to be retained. I really do. And I hope that I'm sitting here after the Missouri game in Columbia later this year talking about how Sam Pittman is going to be the football coach because they're going to be a bowl. I don't want to have to do another coaching search. I really don't. But that's up to the remaining 12 games that you have on this schedule, including the one you have in Columbia. And Hunter Yurchek, depending on what happens with Derek Musselman too, he's got a lot on his plate and a lot that could be resting at his feet with Arkansas athletics too. Hey, well, let me tell you about our friends at the Fence Man. Tommy always talks about what they have done for his house, have done for his mom's house, and have done for a bunch of our clients all across Arkansas. Sean and his team can take care of your residential jobs, your commercial jobs, if you own a business. I know they've done some stuff, I think, for the University of Arkansas as well. 479-782-3936. 479-782-3936. Anything you need, vinyl fence, commercial, residential, call Sean and the Fence Man. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. When we return, Morning Rush Daily Question. Bruce Stanton to Pradco Fishing. Talk some SEC basketball next.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
Hey everybody, this is Justin Moore, and you're listening to The Morning Rush. Whoopee!
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
We're going over to the Johnson's yard. You're gonna love it. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet over there.
Well, what about that yard over there?
Oh, we can't go in that yard. You see that yellow sign? That says Mosquito Joe. What do you think, I was born yesterday?
Actually, yeah, we both were.
Don't be a mosquito buffet this year. Call Mosquito Joe for a free quote at 479-202-9960 or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com. Outside is fun again.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
More good news from Wave Rural Connect. If you're on the Arkansas Valley Electric Shoal Creek substation, fast, affordable internet is coming soon. That zone opens March 25th, so get ready. Amazing internet, TV, and phone from a local provider in Ozark, Arkansas is coming to you. Pre-register online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the community we serve.
Deep and wide selection, saving prices guaranteed. Professionals you can count on. Find what you're looking for. Where your Buick headquarters and a GMC truck superstar. It's never scary when you buy from Harry Robinson, Buick and GMC.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Solve your roofing problems with Freedom Roofing and sleep soundly beneath a sturdy roof tonight. Locally owned, licensed, and insured, Freedom Roofing is a dependable company that will help you with the insurance claim process. Residential or commercial, they'll be there step by step. Call Keith Holt, 479-597-6777, or Rick Carlisle, 479-651-3247 today on all roofing services and break free from your aging roof. Good luck, Peyton Holt and Hog Baseball from Freedom Roofing.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's time for the Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess.
I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
Going to talk with Bruce Stanton, Pradco Fishing, get his thoughts on the latest Pradco Pyramid of Power coming up. Still plenty of things to discuss heading into the NCAA tournament. But for now, we do our Morning Rush Daily Question presented by Red River Dodge in Heber Springs. It's National Poultry Day. What is the best chicken item out there? Is it chicken thighs, chicken breasts, chicken fingers, chicken nuggets, chicken wings? What is the best chicken item out there? Again, 877-377-6963. I love all things chicken. Tommy introduced me to chicken thighs years ago, and that is what I eat regularly during the week. But if I have my druthers, no pun intended, if I have my pick of any chicken item, the chicken wing is the elite, particularly if it's smoked or flash fried. Wings are the best food outside of pizza, in my opinion. If I got pizza and wings, it's the best combo out there. So the best national poultry item on National Poultry Day is the chicken wing, in my opinion, Big C.
Yeah, you can get any flavor you want. That's the beauty of those chicken wings. And usually it's at a sports bar or something where you're watching sports, so those kind of go hand in hand. It's just, I agree with you on that. I think, a good honey barbecue wing is hard to beat. Buffalo's good. Garlic. Yeah, you can go a lot of ways with wings.
Morgan says flats is his national poultry pick. Craig says wings than the breast. Tyler in Greenwood says drumsticks. That's his go-to. It's grilled or barbecue, the big old drumsticks. And you can't go wrong with a lot of chicken as long as it's cooked right. It's cooked all the way through. It's not like steak. You're not cooking that thing medium rare. You just want to make sure that it is cooked. Not a lot of terrible chicken. I'm not the biggest shredded chicken fan, but I'll eat it. Like, given the choice between fajita chicken or shredded chicken, I'll eat it. Pointer says chicken fried steak. I like that. That's it's kind of a backdoor way of the national poultry, even though it's not poultry. But I would say, Pointer, that is good. JT likes the perfectly fried strip. The good thing is in Arkansas, there are several gas stations, and each of you probably have your favorite across the state that you stop into, whether it's in Central Arkansas, North Central Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley. There is a gas station that you are familiar with, that whether as a kid or as an adult or as an older person, you go to, you frequent, because it's that good. Their hot box is that good. It is that fantastic. And those chicken strips are worlds apart than anything else you've ever had. If you're going to get gas station food, I would always go chicken strips because I feel like those are the best. As long as they don't sit there for hours upon hours, I like to get them when they're hot and fresh. That is the way to go. And again, each of you can really tell me what's your favorite one. Matthew enjoys the honey butter chicken biscuits. Those are good. You can get those at a couple different fast food restaurants. Those are hard to beat. Anything honey related, like fried chicken with honey, is phenomenal. Love using the Eric Musselman term, the phenomenal. Chicken, it's really difficult to go wrong with chicken. I know there's different types. You can go chicken Alfredo, you can go chicken Parmesan, but if I have my choice, it's chicken wing. Chicken wing. 877-377-6963. So plenty of good things to eat on National Poultry Day, and I hope our audience, our listeners, partake in this great day. All right, we got Bruce Stanton coming up in just a bit, and if you want to jump in here, you can do so too. Again, that is your Morning Rush Daily Question presented by our friends at Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com. So a few items that we've discussed so far this morning, as it is 7:19 here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. I am on the first 4 bandwagon. Tonight we have 2 college basketball games. Not the most marketable opponents. Wagner, don't know where they are. Howard, don't know where they are. 540, I know Gus Johnson, I believe, went to Howard. That's the connection I have, because I love Gus. Then Colorado State against Virginia. Fort Collins is apparently one of my best friend's favorite towns in the country, against Virginia, which is Charlottesville, I think. And I've got a few friends that have been there once. 540 and 810, True TV. The only time that True TV is watched all year during the NCAA tournament.
That's true.
Yeah, as we welcome in our friend Bruce Stanton of Pradco Fishing. Bruce, are you on or off the bandwagon of the first 4 games tonight and tomorrow?
Oh, I'm watching. I mean, first four, you just, you go to you go through the dial till you find True TV, and then you lock it in and watch some basketball.
It's a tradition unlike any other. It's like, how do I find True TV? It's not here. It's not there. You eventually make your way. You watch it for a couple weeks, or I guess not even a couple weeks, really like this weekend and maybe next, and then you never watch it for the rest of the year. I don't know how they make money. I guess Impractical Jokers, I believe, is on there, but nothing else.
I was going to say, YN and the boys, I'll find them when the boys all lived at home. They would all watch that show together, and I'd just kind of shake my head and go to the other room and try to find some sports on TV. But they actually did watch that show for a while.
Bruce, I'm not the biggest fan. It was never that funny to me. But I don't know. Maybe I just have a dumb sense of humor. And I watch, and there's other shows that I really like that people are like, why do you watch that filth? And I was like, well, it's funny. And so I get pushed back on others. Bruce, the biggest topic here on Arkansas Sports Talk airwaves is the future of Eric Musselman as the head basketball coach at Arkansas. Nothing has been said either way, if he's going, if he's staying. In your opinion, what is he going to do with his coaching career moving forward? Stay in Fayetteville or go elsewhere?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of like you. I don't really have any inside information. I would hope, with what he's done at Arkansas, aside from this year, he would stay. He's in a national championship program with an amazing arena, amazing fan support, in a great conference. I think obviously everybody's talking about the job in Louisville, Kentucky. A lot of tradition there when Denny Crum won 2 national championships in the 80s. But I don't know, just it seems to shine kind of off that. When Freedom Hall was getting packed out and they didn't play Kentucky, there was just a lot of excitement. But and those days are long gone. Yeah,
I know Patino won that national championship a decade or so.
That didn't count, man.
Yeah.
That didn't count.
That always cracks me up is when they again revoke it, take it away, but you saw what we saw on the court. I asked Blake Lovell, who joined us in the first hour. He covers SEC basketball. You mentioned the Denny Crum days. 2024 is a lot different than 1985. In today's climate of college basketball, and you referred to Kenny Payne and Chris Mack, the 2 coaches that hadn't had success there. Is Louisville right now a better basketball job than Arkansas?
No way. When they had Daryl Griffith and the Doctors at Dunk, that was kind of the opposite of Phi Slamma Jamma. And those guys played in the air too. You had Rodney and Scooter McRae. I mean, they had some really good teams. But no, that's not a top tier job now. Arkansas, again, must have been the 2 Elite Eights. Nolan went to 3 Final Fours, 2 championship games, won a championship. Arkansas is still a place where you can make a deep run. It's way up there, and I guess the heights of college basketball. They still pack it out, and still an exciting place to watch a game. I would just say it's a lot better job than Louisville at this point.
Bracket-wise, have you started yet? I'm going to finish mine today before the first 4. I'm kind of picky. I don't like to wait till Thursday. I like to pick who I think is going to win the first 4, even though in a lot of places, including Hit That Line, it doesn't count. By the way, if you're doing our bracket challenge, the HitThatLine.com bracket challenge, you do have till Thursday around 11, so make sure you sign up and do that. Bruce, when do you fill yours out, and do you go about with 1, 2, 3, or you just do one bracket?
I typically do one. I like rolling with one bracket and, sticking with it. We do a family bracket with all our boys and spouses and YN, so we always got bragging rights. In the old days, been hanging on the refrigerator and kind of look at it every day. Now it's all, online. But, you saw me at the SEC tournament. It was kind of a rough week. My dad, James D. Stanton, died. So a couple of days before that, and he taught me how to be a Tennessee basketball fan. So I thought of Dad when I was sitting there watching Mississippi State rattle us, and then you came up to visit me and kind of cheered me up a little bit. But I'm still going to pick Tennessee probably to go to the Final Four, and I always do. Just can't help it. But I still think with our draw on our team, there's a chance. But that Rick Barnes thing always happens. You can't score for 20 minutes, and it's just painful. I don't know if we peaked too early or just the way we play. We're not good in March, but, doesn't hope spring eternal, I guess.
Bruce, first and foremost, obviously, we talked last week about your dad, and once again, we'll say live on these airwaves, I'm sorry. You referenced your father and him teaching to be a Tennessee basketball fan. My dad didn't necessarily teach me to be an Arkansas basketball fan because he was a Baylor alum, but what he did teach me is how much fun NCAA tournament games are. He's going to Memphis this weekend to watch Baylor and some of the other games. And I don't even know if you want to speak to this, but I'll at least give you the option to. What did it mean for just to have that relationship with your dad with sports growing up, and how much do you think that impacted you as we look back all these years?
Yeah, remember when I was a kid, and of course, back in the 70s, we had Bernard King and Ernie Grunfeld, the Ernie Burney Show, Ray Mears. The Stokely Athletic Center was a lot like Barnhill, just a little bigger, but man, it was just a pit. It was always sold out, 9,000 people, and I got to go to a lot of Kentucky games. I saw Kyle Macy and Sam Bowie and Melvin Turpin. I saw Melvin Turpin score 42 points in a game for Kentucky, and we beat them. And, my dad just, I remember when he'd get tickets, man, I got so excited because I was going to go get to watch the Vols. And I remember there were players after games. I was kind of bold. I'd go get autographs. Clyde Frazier, Walt Frazier came to a Tennessee game one time wearing a fur coat. He played in the NBA for the Knicks. And I went over and got his autograph on the program. And, Dad would always just say, yeah, go do it. And he'd watch me, and I'd go get autographs and keep the programs. And always had those sports to reference, the Vols. And even, we'd text each other, GBO, Go Big Orange, and little orange hearts and basketballs, footballs, whatever the season was. But, yeah, I mean, it's awesome to have a dad that gave that to me, and my love of fishing, and it led to a career in sports writing and fishing. So maybe he should have taken me to the stock market or something. I don't know, but that's what I became, and he had a big part in that.
Yeah, I think a lot of us listening right now can parallel our own lives with our fathers in some way, shape, or form. And again, gone too soon, but that's pretty cool that you guys got to cherish all these things, and he helped develop you into the man you are today. And again, really sorry for that, Bruce. All right. You got it, man. All right, let's get into it. It is our Pradco Pyramid of Power prior to the NCAA tournament.
Who are the best basketball teams in the SEC? Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Bruce, after this weekend in Bridgestone Arena, games that you and I watch, I have no idea what to make of the SEC. I felt confident that Tennessee or Kentucky would win. Then I saw South Carolina dismantle Arkansas, and I kind of felt like you did. Maybe the Gamecocks would do it. What happens to them? They get slaughtered by Auburn the following game. Tennessee, like you said, unfortunately, no show against Mississippi State. Kentucky, again, gives up a barrage of points to Wade Taylor. I got no idea what team is going to show up this week. So give me some rankings. Give me some perspective on how I should feel about these teams heading into Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, well, I mean, the regular season still means something, and I know I'm a homer, but I'm still going with number 6 Tennessee up top. Finished 24-8, beat every team in the SEC except Mississippi State. The Bulldogs beat the Vols twice, so I guess that's kryptonite. They got size, thickness, just great coach, and Tennessee struggled with Mississippi State this year. So, but over the course of the season, they beat everyone. And when I look at the resume, they beat Wisconsin, which won the Big Ten tournament. They beat Illinois, which they beat in the Big Ten tournament. They beat NC State, which won the ACC tournament. So, Vols had some great wins. My question, did they peak too early? Did they, get tired at the end of the season? 2 fifth-year seniors, the first-team All-American, Dalton Connect. When I look at the bracket, St. Peter's, Texas, possibly Creighton, possibly South Carolina again, I think they got a clear path to the Elite Eight. When you look at Purdue, they are obviously suspect to the upset bug. They beat Tennessee by 3 earlier in the year. Like you like to say, Arkansas beat them in an exhibition game earlier in the year. So, I still got to ride with the Vols. I'm gonna have them going to the Final Four, and just depends on how much oxygen I'm breathing. I might pick them to win the national championship. So I'm still gonna roll with them, but I'm kind of biased. So I got Tennessee number 1 in the pyramid of power, and then Auburn, just based on the momentum, 27-7. Don't really like Bruce Pearl anymore because he's a cheater, but he won. So cheaters win, and Bruce Pearl continues to prove it. They got a rough draw. They're going out to Spokane, Washington. I think it's going to be hard for them to go a long way. But, I got Tennessee number 1, number 7 Auburn, number 2, and then that third spot I'm going to Kentucky still, even though they had the upset bug. They still got the talent to make a Final Four run, 23-9. They got 2 great freshmen. Reeves is having an amazing season. I think Kentucky's main problem is their lack of inside scoring. They got some athletes. They got Big Z, but they don't really have a dominant post, and that'll probably get beat at some point. So Tennessee number 1, Auburn number 2, Kentucky number 3. How you feeling about that?
That's how I have it. Kentucky's one of the worst defensive teams in all of college basketball, and I know that Shepard and Dillingham, and you reference offense, they're fantastic, but you're going to run into a Wade Taylor in the tournament, a kid that just won't stop scoring, and if you can't stop him, it's over. I don't care what you're doing on offense. It's curtains, and we saw it again in Nashville, and I think we're going to see it. Now, they did get I would say they got the easiest draw. Auburn got the worst draw. Yeah. Man, they got a terrible draw, which I know you're not feeling sad about, but Kentucky did get an easier draw when you look at their setup, their regional. So I would say that is good, but I would probably do it how you did. I still think even though Tennessee fell early, they're the top dog in the league. They did in the regular season. Auburn, though, is right behind them. What they were able to accomplish this year, tied for second, winning the whole thing. I mean, Bruce Pearl's got his guys. I just don't know about their guard play. I'm not sold on their guards. I love their big men. I love their wings. But you win this tournament with guards, and theirs are moderate at best. That's the issue I think I have with the Tigers.
Yeah, guard play always, kind of determines how far you're going to go in the tournament. That's when the guards shine in the NCAA tournament. So Auburn's very balanced. But when it gets down to crunch time, who's going to make a stop, who's going to make a shot? I don't know if they know that, but they got on a run, and I think they had going into the tournament, they'd won every game by double digits. So they hadn't played a lot of close games. Seems like the close games they played, they've lost, but when they win, they usually win big. Going on down to number 4, we got South Carolina. Obviously, they had an amazing year. They played great defense, and they got some dudes that could shoot threes. And I like their draw. They got Oregon and then Creighton, Akron. I think those are games that South Carolina could probably play bully ball. And I think there's a real scenario where Tennessee and South Carolina could beat in the Sweet 16. But I got them at number 4, Alabama. Right there with Kentucky, probably the worst defensive team in the country. They just play pickup ball, and that'd probably be a fun team to play pickup ball with because you're not going to get defended. You're probably going to score about 20 points. And they got rolled in the SEC tournament, but I just don't believe in them. They lost 11 games, and I think when it comes time to stop someone, I just really wonder if they can do it. And then final spot, number 6, Florida. I'm still going to put them in there, but the loss of Micah Henlopen, their 7'1" center, is really going to hurt them in the tournament. Walter Clayton's a baller, and he really signed at the end of the year. I don't know if they're going to make an NCAA tournament run. With him, I think they would have, but obviously they made the SEC tournament championship game, and probably a team that a lot of us didn't have in the NCAA tournament at the beginning of the year, but they had a good season. So Tennessee, Auburn, Kentucky, South Carolina, Alabama, and then Florida at number 6. What do you think about that?
I think the only argument that could be possibly made is with, you mentioned Henglen, however you say his name, with him going down, their front court depth takes a hit. And I don't know if Mississippi State can do enough offensively, and A&M's kind of in that same boat. You might put one of those teams above, but I don't have an issue putting South Carolina above Bama. South Carolina plays defense. They struggle to score at times. Bama just doesn't play defense. They're like Kentucky. They're a lesser version of Kentucky because they have good talent. Sears is unbelievable, but they don't have as much talent. So I think that looks pretty good. I I just don't. After this weekend, like if Tennessee or Kentucky would have solidified themselves, then I think you had a lot more confidence about the SEC making a Final Four. But both teams kind of got boat raced. And now I know it's, again, Nashville's, it's not the end-all, be-all, but there is a level of confidence that you have that Auburn has winning that tournament and now heading to the NCAA tournament. Maybe the legs get to them. And, again, going out to Spokane is not going to be easy for the Tigers. I just think that sometimes momentum's a bigger thing in college basketball than we think. And I really like Auburn, the way they finish, Bruce.
Yeah, no doubt. They've got more momentum than anyone else. And I can remember back in the days when I was covering Arkansas, they'd win the Southwest Conference. They'd go down to Reunion and steamroll the Southwest Conference tournament. And then, Nolan found a way to get them on some runs in 90 and 91. And you just felt the momentum of the way Arkansas had dominated all year. And I don't know, it just doesn't seem like you see dominant teams like that anymore that win the conference, win the tournament, and then go on and make a Final Four. And especially this year, even in some of the lesser conferences, well, I'm called the Big 12 lesser conference, but Houston, that was just shocking to see them lose by 30 points. And, whatever confidence you had in putting them on a deep run, you're kind of thinking about it now. And, it's just, you don't really see that dominance like you maybe did 20 years ago. I guess a lot of it's parity, but a lot of it's just, man, it is hard to get up for every single game, 30 games, and, win. It's just hard, and we're seeing that. I'll go ahead with the rest of it. I had A&M at number 7, Mississippi State at number 8, LSU at number 9. I went ahead and moved Arkansas out of the bottom 4. I got them at number 10.
All right.
They finished the year. College Battle had a really great end of the season. Shame he didn't do it all year. I think it'll be interesting. Will he be a first-team All-SEC performer next year? Is he on the wooden watch the way he was scoring and getting to the free throw line? That'll be interesting to see. Ole Miss just tanked at the end of the year. Had them at 11th, Georgia at 12th, Vandy at 13th, and Stackhouse is gone. We'll see who they get, and then Missouri at the bottom. But I did think it was interesting that a couple of the SEC teams, Beard didn't want to play in the NIT. I guess just a bad taste in their mouth the way they finished. Probably didn't want anymore.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, Bruce, again, a lot of NCAA tournament talk, a lot of SEC teams involved, and we got a lot to look forward to this weekend. And we also got some good weather to look forward to. It's going to be the 70s across a lot of Arkansas today. Great time to get and start fishing a little bit with some Pradco products.
That's right. And, just if you're wanting to fish today, just wait probably till this afternoon. It's pretty cold right now, and these fish, they don't like it this time of year. We get that yo-yo going. We get it up in the 70s and 80s, and that water temperature starts getting up in the 50s. And man, then we get them cold nights down to the 30s, and it kind of knocks them back down. So they're moving. They're trying to come up, then they get knocked back down. So just be patient when you need to be patient. Use a suspend and jerk bait like a Smithwick Rogue, the original suspend and rattling Rogue, and Chrome Black, Chrome Blue, or Clown, and fish Main Lake points. Those fish will be, coming up, looking to warm up, following bait. They want to come up, spawn, and but this time of year you just got to be patient. You want them up on the bank, and you want to, start throwing yum dingers and fish shallow, but it's just not quite time yet. We get some stable nights in the 50s and 60s, and that water starts warming up, then it'll be game on, and you'll want to be taking off work the whole month of April to go catch fish. But, just got to be patient this time of year, but it's coming.
Well, Bruce, we appreciate you joining us. Our thoughts and prayers are again with you after this past week, and it's good to hear from you always, buddies, and it was good to hang out last weekend at Bridgestone Arena.
All right. Talk to you later, Todd. Thanks.
All right, good stuff again from our friend Bruce Stanton. It's really cool to hear him talk about kind of the different things he got to do with his dad back in the day, and that kind of made me think about it. I wish my dad asked me to go to the NCAA tournament with him in Memphis this week. I can't because I've got some work stuff, some obligations, but definitely it brings it back. So maybe shoot your dad a text today. You never know when today is going to be your last or his last, but again, I know Bruce had quite a relationship with his dad, and hopefully he's doing okay. All right, we've got our hog update coming up in just a bit. We're still getting text about what's going on with the women's basketball program. I think Scott texted that in. We'll respond to that in just a bit. Scott, Annie Mountain Home, and also some others via the McLarty Daniel hotline. Now, Bruce was just talking about fishing, all the great products made from Pradco right here in Arkansas. I know for those that love to fish, you love to go to Gaston's. Gastons.com. Go see Clint. Go see Jacob. Go see their team at Gaston's, the best trout fishing in North America. Not Arkansas, not North Central Arkansas, North America is at Gaston's White River Resort. They have the private accommodations in their lodges and cabins, the fully equipped kitchen, and they have everything you need. Nature, fun, fishing, food. You're going to find all of that at Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time. Every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is ESPN college basketball analyst and former Razorback Jimmy Dykes, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Get ready for a new year of work with limited time savings on Bobcat equipment at Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas and Rogers. Get as low as 0% for 72 months on a Bobcat compact tractor, or choose a free front-end loader when you buy with cash. Special offers are also available on Bobcat zero-turn mowers with financing as low as 0% for 48 months, or rebates up to $900 on select models. Call Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas or come by to get these great deals. Hurry, these offers end March 31st. Some exclusions apply.
Tommy Craft for the Fitzman. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we have the biggest and best selection of premium pre-owned vehicles we've had in years. Many with low miles and those special features you're looking for, and each one road-ready certified with warranty. Be sure to ask about the weekly specials that can save you up to $4,000. Road-ready certified used cars and savings up to $4,000. 2 more reasons all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith, or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
It's the 3rd annual car show brought to you by McKenzie's Racing Supply. Bring your street rods, hot rods, and race cars from all area racetracks. Everyone is invited for a fun day of cars and music at McKenzie's Racing Supply, 1111 South 4th Street, Van Buren. Saturday, March 23rd from 11 to 1. Trophies will be awarded. Live music from the Jug Hill Annie Band. Sponsored by STI Incorporated, Midwest Automation, JRT Trucking, Eddie Knight Auto Sales, and Extreme Diesel.
Hey, I'm Hagen Smith. As an Arkansas pitcher, I know the importance of precision, skill, and keeping cool under pressure. That's why for your home, choosing the right team for heating and air is just as important. You want professionals who bring their best game. When it comes to staying comfortable, I rely on Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. They'll send pros to take care of your home, too. Sign up now for Pascal's Plan Protection membership before the summer heat for only $8.99 a month. Never pay for a tune-up again when they're included in your membership. Professional people, professional service. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey & Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir!
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Arkansas softball defeated Texas A&M Commerce 8-0 in just 5 innings. 8 runs on 13 hits. Courtney Deifel's squad did not face much pushback from yesterday. Women's basketball news, and it's unfortunate this morning. Sailor Poffenbarger and Talia Scott have both entered the portal. Poffenbarger, one of the better rebounders in college basketball. Talia Scott, one of the best freshmen in college basketball. Scott asking the question via the McLarty Data Hotline, what is up with the Arkansas women's basketball team? Is the coach in trouble, or has NIL destroyed them? I said this earlier in the show. I am not as close to that program as I feel like I am to the other 3 main ones on campus: men's football, men's basketball, men's baseball. And I don't speak to that being highly sourced or anything like that, but I feel like I have a better grasp. I will say that this is, for Mike Neighbors, this is the most dangerous territory he's ever been in, I would say. And I don't think you have to just be this person that covers the team every day to understand that. They're in a difficult spot right now. I don't know the conversations that him and Hunter Yurchek have had about the direction of that basketball program. I said this earlier, I'll say again, I love Nabes. He comes on these airwaves. I think he's a great dude. He's been nothing but good to me. But reality's reality. And he's, again, in a bad spot right now. I hope he gets out of it. And from what from just knowing him and stuff, I hope he figures it out. I don't know if he's going to, though. And that's something, again, there are a lot more people out there that can speak to it better than I can. I just wanted to kind of put that asterisk around that. Do you know, baseball team's number 1 in the country. Unanimous number 1 team in the country, according to the 5 polls, which I know people are excited about. You got Auburn this week. Now, again, it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. So not only do you have the NCAA tournament to start watching this Thursday, and I guess tonight, being on the bandwagon of the first 4, tonight technically is the NCAA tournament start. You do have Arkansas baseball to look forward to this weekend. Last thing here in your Hog Update. Nick Coffey joined us yesterday, does afternoon radio in Louisville. Here's what he said, and I think this comment is really important. on Eric Musselman? Because I know that's the biggest question right now in Arkansas, really in Arkansas. It's the most talked about. What's going to happen with the future of your basketball coach? And it's going to be on his own accord. If he wants to leave, he'll leave. But here's what Nick Coffey said about his buyout. Take a listen.
I don't even understand how he ended up having the success he's had, the money he's making, and have such a small buyout. So to answer your question, it's huge. You would think a guy, just, take where he is, SEC, a lot of money there, a lot of resources. I think Arkansas, every step of the way since he's arrived, has made it clear they want to keep him. They want to make him happy. Again, he's given them some life they haven't had in quite some time. So, no, it's huge. I mean, there's guys that I think, fans, like myself and those who do cover coaching searches whenever they come up around here, buyouts aren't something you really do a whole lot of looking into unless you have to, unless you really feel like you need to. And some of these coaches out there, like TJ Otzelberg at Iowa State, Jerome Tang at Kansas State, good coaches, but they've not done what Eric Musselman's done. And yet they have buyouts that are 6 to 7, maybe 8 times more. So I think that's another factor here, is that the financials just aren't as much to get somebody away from a good job like you would have expected with Musselman at Arkansas.
That's another part of this contract negotiation that needs to be monitored. And when it does come out, assuming that Eric Musselman stays and is retained as the Arkansas head basketball coach, what changes there, if anything? We had a text earlier from JT in Hot Springs about the bonus structure, the incentives to try and get Muss, because they had their first losing season under him, and yet, at least in my opinion, you're probably going to have to pay him more to keep him from venturing elsewhere. That is from the outside looking in. I could be completely wrong about that. Got a text out of the 814. Christian, any idea where the 814 is zip code-wise? Let's throw out a guess.
Oh, man. Kentucky.
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So we have someone listening in Pennsylvania this morning. Everyone is talking about Louisville. What about the opening in Michigan? Juwan Howard recently let go by the Wolverines. You don't have to compete with Kentucky in recruiting. You do have to compete with that football program, which just won a national championship, though. I do wonder who they will hire. Something to look out for. That program has been to a national championship last decade or so. It's a good basketball job. I don't know if it's great, but I think it's a good basketball job. Again, we kind of parallel it to the Arkansas job, whether it's Louisville, Michigan, and others. What does it look like for the Arkansas job? I would love to get Eric Musselman's full thoughts on that. Don't know if I ever will. That is your Hog Update this morning, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Hour number 3 is coming up in just a bit. Our Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog Update. Bobby Portis had himself quite a game the other night. Jalen Williams, Isaiah Joe. Last time I checked, the Oklahoma City Thunder were the number 1 team in the Western Conference. They're a big part of that. We also got MLB just around the corner. And we've got NCAA tournament games tonight. If you haven't signed up for our hitthatline.com bracket challenge, you need to do so. You can beat out Derek Ruskin, Matt Jones, myself, and other ESPN Arkansas personalities. It's brought to you by On the Mark Sports Grill and Bar in Fayetteville, 810 Billiards and Bowling in Fort Smith, and Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley. Registration, it's easy. Go to hitthatline.com, click on the March Madness tab, sign up in 5 minutes or less. It's also brought to you by Walk On Sports Bistro, Century Bank of the Ozarks, Cafe Conchisme, Links at Chaffee Crossing, and Foghorns Wings. Sign up today at hitthatline.com on the March Madness tab. Hour 3 coming at you next.
Hello there, homeowner. Roger Scott for Leaf Guard Gutters of Arkansas. Are you tired of dealing with clogged gutters, climbing ladders, and worrying about potential damage to your home? Well, listen up to me now. Leaf Guard of Arkansas has got you covered. Introducing Leaf Guard, the only true one-piece seamless covered gutter system on the market, guaranteed to never, ever clog. With Leaf Guard, you can kiss goodbye to all the hassle of climbing up and cleaning out all that muck and mud and shingle grit. No more hiring someone else to do it, or worse yet, risking serious damage and issues by doing nothing at all. Spring is finally here, which means it's time for Leaf Guard's famous Ugly Gutter event. Leaf Guard will swoop in, take down, and haul away all those unsightly gutters at absolutely no charge, and you'll receive an incredible 60% off installation on a whole house Leaf Guard gutter system. But wait, there's more. Ask about the 0% financing options and additional discounts for seniors and military personnel. Do not let ugly gutters ruin your home's curb appeal or cause costly damage. Call 501-664-5400 or visit leafguardandmore.com to schedule your free estimate today. Leaf Guard of Arkansas, protecting your home one seamless gutter at a time.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Warm up with hot preseason savings on your choice of New Holland equipment right now at WT Equipment. Get 0% financing for 60 months or a free loader on compacts. Choose 0% financing or cash back on mid-range tractors and on select hay tools. Or get up to $40,000 cash back on a new T7. No matter the job, hurry into WT Equipment today and shop their huge selection of in-stock inventory. Now is the best time to get a truckload of savings on the trusted quality and efficient power of New Holland equipment. Offer ends March 31st. Commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification at CNH Industrial Capital LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply.
This is the Morning Rush.
Diamond Center is proud to present our inaugural Whiskey and Watches event. Now is your chance to get your hands on that timeless timepiece you've been dreaming of. Between now and Thursday, April 25th, in our Fort Smith store, call or stop by to pre-order your watch. Then join us on Thursday, April 25th for a night of celebration featuring rare whiskeys, cigars, and luxury watches. This is your opportunity to add that watch that you've always had an eye on to your collection. For more information or to pre-order your watch today, give us a call. The Diamond Center, celebrating a legacy of love.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is the reigning champion of my own conference, Robert.
You do realize that's not a thing.
Well, I did receive a plaque commemorating that accomplishment.
Yeah, and I was elected the president of Mars. Anyway, Hog fans, it's that time again.
It's baseball season. And Hog fans, the Stadium Shop has everything you need for Razorback baseball.
From t-shirts, sweatshirts, man cave stuff, and even a Razorback original, the Bases Loaded beer hats.
Plus, ladies, as well as a restocked women's section. We have the Bases Loaded beer stein boppers.
Yeah, it's kind of like those old-time space alien antennas, you know.
Yeah, well, not really.
So when you're in Fayetteville, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road, next door to Baum Walker Stadium, or you can shop us on them WW Interweb, Facegram, you get it, Matthew.
Dad, do you mean the website?
Yeah.
Which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
As always,
Go Hogs!
More good news from Wave Rural Connect. If you're on the Arkansas Valley Electric Shoal Creek substation, fast, affordable internet is coming soon. That zone opens March 25th, so get ready. Amazing internet, TV, and phone from a local provider in Ozark, Arkansas is coming to you. Pre-register online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the community we serve.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With the never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Jason Hill in Greenwood or Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
Attention homeowners, storms are firing up quickly and widespread damage means thousands are reaching out for the right roofing company. Don't wait. Get on the schedule with Shamrock Roofing and Construction now for quality and peace of mind. One call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction, call 479-319-5100. Need a new roof? Shamrock Roofing and Construction can have you covered right now for as low as $139.99 with approved credit. For quality and peace of mind, one call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction, call 479-319-5100.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, blue sky, sunshine, not going to be quite as cool. Our high this afternoon, low to mid 60s. We're nice and clear tonight, and overnight low drops down low to mid 40s. Sunny skies on Wednesday with a slight chance of showers across the north. Our high in the low 70s, and then a chance of showers again Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I've always been very, very high on Eric Musselman, as I'm sure you guys have. I think he's actually reminded a lot of folks outside of Arkansas how good of a basketball job that is, just with the early success that he's had, energized the fan base. His name is obviously going to come up when a big job like Louisville comes open just because of what he's done.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bensenville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
That was Nick Coffey yesterday on the program. He does radio in Louisville discussing Eric Musselman and this Arkansas basketball program, which I will give him this, has reminded every single college basketball analyst and coach and prospective coach out there that this is a job you can win, that you can have success. In some cases, you can get to a Final Four. Now, we haven't seen it just yet from Eric Musselman. Hopefully we get to it at some point, maybe next year. I don't even know where the Final Four is at in 2025. I had looked ahead just too much like the last year when I saw that it was in Phoenix. Either way, he reminded a lot of people you can win in Fayetteville, Arkansas with in-state basketball talent, a brand, and some good fan bases, or a good fan base right here, not just in Fayetteville, but all across the state. Tom Murphy's going to join us in about 10 minutes. We've got our Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog update coming up and some more thoughts on Muss and what could happen with him in Fayetteville or if he presumes to go elsewhere. Hey, springtime is here, and help have a great spring at Make Awake Bait and Tackle. They've got a new location at 803 North 11th Street next to Witt's Marine. Make Awake is ready to help you spring in by stocking up on covert spinning baits, jackhammer, chatterbait, Bobby Garland baby shad, Prince Pratco, plus Todd Huckabee rods. That's for all you crappie fishermen. Plus, catfish fishermen out there, listen up, because they are carrying the Whisker Seeker rods and the reels. Make Awake, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith next to Witt's Marine. See them for all your rod and reel repairs or call them at 479-926-9320 or check them out on Facebook.
This is the Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog Update.
Giannis over to Bobby in the corner. We'll take it. Oh, Bobby's got it. Number slap.
Whether you're listing, selling, or leasing, Lindsay & Associates can handle all your real estate needs. Go to lindsay.com to search all the current real estate inventory. At Lindsay & Associates, we bring great neighbors together.
Black didn't let the three. Drives instead and hammers it home. Well, that young man's aggressive.
Yes, Anthony Black was also in the headlines this week, teaming up for a photo opportunity with Grady Dick. I don't know how much extensive we can go into that. I thought it was hilarious, personally, but others did not find it so funny. All right, Christian, what is happening this week on our Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog Update?
Moses Moody knocked down a three-pointer last night, and the Warriors 119-112 lost to the Knicks. He also had 1 steal and 1 assist. He only played 7 minutes, so not bad.
Yeah, Steve Kerr, for whatever reason, just doesn't play him a lot. And Warriors fans would like to see him play more. They are in the midst of being a play-in team right now. That dynasty is about to come to an end. Steph Curry's been fantastic. Those guys are getting old. He would be a young piece that you would think would be featured more to help bring them back a little bit. And yet, Kerr just refuses to play him extensive minutes.
Jordan Walsh had 2 points in the Celtics' 119-94 win over the Pistons last night. He played 4 minutes, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists.
He's not going to get a lot of action, if any, in the playoffs just because of the rotation. They've got a lot of good quality wings, but Jordan is liked by that fan base too. You just got to give him some time, I think.
Yeah, you'll take this from Daniel Gafford if you can get it just about every game. Sunday, he had 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist in the Mavericks' 107-105 win over the Nuggets. He played 24 minutes. Also on Sunday, Anthony Black played 2 minutes in the Magic's 113-96 win against the Raptors. Anthony also got a steal in the game.
AB, man, you'd think he'd play a little bit more as a rookie. We've seen flashes at times where he's been unbelievable, but then other games he either gets a DNP or just doesn't play a lot. He has a bright future in the pros for sure.
And Bobby Portis with a 31-point performance on Sunday in the Bucks' 140-129 win over the Suns. He also snagged 10 rebounds, had 2 assists, and 3 steals. He was 5 for 5 from the three-point line. Teammate Patrick Beverly had 3 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, and a steal.
May have jumped the gun yesterday saying he's the second best player on the team. That goes to Damian Lillard. Maybe even put Chris Middleton at third. So Bobby, while he's not the second best player, is a very important piece of that basketball team now under Doc Rivers, and we'll see if the Bucks make a run. Celtics are playing really, really good basketball right now in the East. Thunder, as I mentioned, with Isaiah and Jalen, are fantastic. And there's just a lot of Arkansas guys that are featured on some quality NBA teams, which you love to see, and you hope you see in the MLB too, which you're going to in just a few months.
He may not be the second best player, but when you can get a 31-point game from your third or fourth best player, man, you'll take that just about every time. He's got the ability to light it up for sure. And lastly, we've got a little bit of Thunder action. On Saturday, the Thunder won 118-112 over Memphis. Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams both combined for 18 points. Isaiah had 10 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block. Jalen had 8 points, 1 rebound, and 1 steal. So quite the performance.
You just can't get over that 2 Northside Grizzlies. And it would just be the same way for Fayetteville Bulldogs, like we were talking about with Dre Greenlaw and Brandon Allen. Now, Dre played a lot more, unfortunately got injured in that NFC Super Bowl in the Super Bowl game. He had the NFC champ or the divisional where he picked off Jordan Love a couple times, but it is so unique to see 2 guys that were teammates at an Arkansas high school, like we saw with Brandon and Dre. Now we're seeing with Jalen and Isaiah, and then not only just make it to the league, whatever league they're trying to, but also be on the same team. It is fun. It's encouraging for every Northside Grizzly that's graduated from that high school. It's awesome. As for the Fayetteville Bulldogs with Dre and Brandon, I love bringing this up each week because I don't think we can overstate how awesome it is.
Yeah, and they're on a really good team, which is also makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah, Thunder are going to be one of the teams in the West to beat this year, and that is your Lindsay and Associates Pro Hog update this morning. Brought to you, of course, by Lindsay & Associates. They're celebrating their 50th year in the real estate industry. They are the leading real estate company in Northwest Arkansas. So whether you're listing, you're selling, or you're leasing, Lindsay & Associates can handle all your real estate needs. With over 200 professionally trained agents and 3 convenient locations in Fayetteville and Rogers, Lindsay and Benville, Lindsay & Associates is the winning choice. Go to Lindsay.com to search all the current real estate inventory at Lindsay & Associates. We bring great neighbors together. So just a quick wrap-up, what we've been discussing this morning thus far. Got some SEC matchups starting on Thursday in the NCAA tournament. I like Kentucky's draw. I hate Auburn's draw. I think it's just very difficult for the Tigers based on where they are in the NCAA tournament. We've mentioned Notre Dame, possibly them joining the SEC. Paul Feinbaum said this week he thinks that the Fighting Irish are going to join at some point. I like the prospect of Notre Dame, even though they're not regional, joining the conference. I think it'd be cool to go to South Bend to watch the Arkansas Razorbacks play there, which they're supposedly still doing in a few years, but they're not a regional team. But I think Notre Dame might be one of those teams you would take regardless just because of their brand and their tradition. And I think Zach would be a little mopey on most Saturday nights after watching his team get blown out. We took a call earlier from Ozzy, who is a little disgruntled, not a little, a lot disgruntled with Hunter Yurachek right now. And I don't blame him. There's some issues on this campus with the football and basketball program. Hopefully they can get resolved and resurrected. I think we're going to find out next year. And then also the issue with your basketball team, who is going to be that head coach this season. Hopefully it's Muss. It might not be, though. And that's where we welcome in our friend, Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, and Whole Hog Sports. Tom, I know you've had to deal with spring football. You've had to talk about this baseball team and watch their games this week in which they thoroughly dominated Missouri. But the number one story for our listeners is what's going to happen with this basketball program with Muss, with Battle, with Tremont Mark. In your opinion, do you think Eric Musselman is the basketball coach this upcoming season?
Well, good morning, guys. Always a pleasure. I haven't seen anything. I mean, I've heard all the chatter and all the stuff that's going on too. I think Arkansas would be wise to have him back. I think he's proven, I mean, he's taken the Razorbacks places they haven't been since 94, 95, as we all know. He's shown that his team gathered strength down the stretch. I just think it took him so long to find out what their rotation was going to look like this year, and that's the responsibility of the coaching staff, obviously. But I just think NIL and players' expectations and all that are such a big deal in today's game. He's navigated things pretty well until this year, and so my thought is I'm not that concerned about some of the openings that you hear of as of now, but there could come up some down the road. UCLA, for instance, that would be more troubling for me.
I think that's we got a text earlier, Tom, that it was talking about the California schools and maybe USC was lumped in there. I don't know if that's necessarily a better job. I think Andy Enfield's still out there. They didn't have a great season. They're not going to the NCAA tournament. But UCLA and Mick Cronin is always a watch, I think, for Arkansas basketball fans. Departure-wise, we're wondering if Muss will depart the program. We've already had 3 departures, Joseph Pinion, Keon Minifield, and also Denaje Harris. Who do you think is the biggest loss for Arkansas basketball in this next season?
You mean projecting further on the current roster or the ones who've already left?
Just of the 3 that have left, who do you think was the biggest loss?
Well, I mean, Minifield obviously was the one who had the most explosive type games and potential and all that. And I mean, the state of Arkansas loves its homegrown guys, and certainly Pinion has his strengths. But I think ultimately for him, it was lateral movement, foot speed, and all that on defense that was and rebounding that cost him minutes. Even though we know his potential as a 3-point shooter. So, yeah, I think Minifield. But here's the thing: his position is that duplicative of other. Mark played the point some, Battle played the point a little bit too, and he did too. So maybe he's obviously it could be that he's looking for more playing time. I'm not sure if it was asked to leave or the player driven. I'm not sure on him, but I think he's the biggest loss. And I mean, it's just going to happen. I mean, there's going to be guys who leave who really disappoint you. I hated the football team losing AJ Green and Rocket and some other guys, but it's just the nature of the game now. And it's going to be rare to have a guy who does like AJ Green, which is kind of take a subsidiary role for 2 or 3 years and stay with you. And so, but Muss has dealt with constant change in that basketball program. The roster overhauls have been ever since he's been here, and they're on to some names that you've already seen, some of these big power forwards and stuff that they need. I mean, that to me, that's the most crucial element that the Razorbacks must add is a 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" physical rebounder type.
You mentioned the beef. Yeah, that's you would love to get a few guys in here just like that. We're talking with Tom Murphy, McLarty Daniel Hotline. He's with Whole Hog Sports and the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Tom, you piqued my interest. I know the boys are off at spring break doing goodness knows what. I know I was during spring break. Running back position, I don't think we've talked a lot about that with you. You bring in Jackson from Utah. DeBinion is back. We saw a little bit of Augustive this past season. I know we hadn't seen a lot, but have you gotten any indication who you're projecting to be maybe running back one starting August the 31st?
I got to tell you guys, if I think they have the potential. Well, first of all, the blocking and all the schemes didn't match up last year. So the guys that we knew were good already, Rocket, DeBinion, A.J. Green, and Augustov, who came on late. I think Arkansas has the potential to be just as productive as their 2022 and 21 teams that were number 7 in the country in rushing. Based on what we've seen so far, I think DeBinion and Augustov have gotten a lot of reps. But, man, to see Jaquindon Jackson run, he's a big back, and I thought he had a little bit of wiggle the other day in that 72-play scrimmage situation we watched. He looked good. Braylon Russell, physical kid, needs to run a little lower, but I think he's got great potential. I really, really like the assemblage of running backs they have, and I hope they can keep them all after spring. A lot of Jimmy Smith devotees in that group, but doggone, they're good. And DeBinion has a chance to be a really good lead running back. They all have their strengths, but, man, strong group.
Are you surprised that Singleton has been running with the twos? I think and again, outside looking in, I think we expected Taylor Green was probably going to be the 1, Jacoby Criswell's 2, Singleton maybe a little further down at 3. But based on practice so far, it's not been the way it's gone. Is that a surprise to you?
Well, only mildly, but Criswell has gotten some work with the twos, and Singleton and Criswell, to me, seemingly have been swapping back and forth 2s and 3s. But it is true, Singleton has been with the 2s more often at first and all that. I think it was just maybe some signals from everything they saw and comprehended during winter, leadership, amount of time spent with the guys. And it's cool that you're asking me this way, because Green is far away. I mean, you keep hearing every person who comes in through the interview room, his leadership skills. That's what Sam Pittman reinforced the other day. And what that is, it's a reflection on what happened to KJ. I think the NIL and all that money and flying his mom out, the private plane and all, I think that kind of got to him. I think it separated him from the team. And it's critical that your quarterback is lifting everybody up instead of kind of separating himself. And, KJ didn't come from a strong economic background as far as I know. And so that money, I think it changed him a little, and it hurt the locker room. And so I think Green so far has shown he's a uniter and a leader, and that quarterback room, I mean, I think he's a clear 1A. And then between the other two, the physicality, what their grasp of the offense looks like so far has been pretty similar. But Singleton threw the pass that has led to the greatest catch we've seen in spring so far. It was Davion Dozier, one hand, backhand at the goal line.
Yeah, that highlight was pretty cool that we've seen on social media. Tom Murphy with us via the McLarty Daniel Hotline, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, we took a call earlier that heavily pushed back on Hunter Yurachek, and he pointed out the football program, where it's at, the basketball program, and they're, again, downturned the last 2 years. The women's basketball program with Mike Neighbors. If you polled your audience, how do you think fans would feel about the current job that Hunter Yurachek is doing as the athletics director?
There'd be some split results, no question. But here's the thing. People griped about Kendall Briles, about the short yardage and all that. Meanwhile, Arkansas was ranking 7th in the country in rushing in back-to-back years. It's phenomenal. The offensive numbers were some of the best Arkansas has ever put up. They stacked up with the 2010 offense and the 2015 offense, and people griped nonstop about Kendall Briles. Well, what do you want from your athletic program? You want results across the board, success, etc. Sam Pittman, he's the same coach who led them to a 9-4 record in 21. Things have fallen off. The NIL part is what they've got to get together. They've made moves to try to make it better. Let's see what the results look like. But Hunter Yurachek is well regarded. I mean, in all the circles, he's gotten bigger roles, bigger positions on leadership.
College football playoff committee just
Exactly. And so I'm saying his reputation, his personal skills are phenomenal. And so I agree, though. If football continues to struggle, if basketball really struggles next year, then you have to look at what's going on, what's the answer. But these are the same coaches who led Arkansas to great success. I mean, Musselman's success unparalleled in Arkansas since the Nolan Richardson championship years. So I've got a little bit more patience than the average fan.
Tom, we got 30 seconds left with you, so I'll end you on this. Speaking of reputation, Arkansas baseball has one. Number one team in the country, unanimous, announced yesterday. What was the biggest takeaway for you in their dominant performance against Missouri as we'll let you go this morning?
I'm actually writing about it for tomorrow. It's starting pitching. These guys, the strikeout rate, unbelievable. Their earned run averages and batting average against are dropping. And I know it's not going to hold the whole season. There's going to be rough outings. Tigers' control's got to get better, et cetera. Molina's the same, but it's just really unbelievable what they've got with those three. It's going to give you a chance every weekend, home, road, neutral. It doesn't matter. If their hitting comes along, they're going to be really, really strong.
Tom, we'll leave it there. Appreciate your insight. Appreciate your thoughts as always. We'll talk Thursday at 7:20, okay?
Sounds like a plan. See ya.
That is Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, joining us via the McLarty Daniel hotline. If you are wanting to join a great company with 80-plus years in the business, Forsgren Incorporated is looking for an earthwork and grading superintendent. You got to have 5+ years in earthwork construction, management skills, ability to read plans and specifications, and GPS experience. They've been building the foundation of the River Valley for years, 80+ to be exact. If you want to apply, go to goforsgren.com. The website, again, is goforsgren.com if you're interested in an earthwork grading superintendent job. When we return, we'll recap a few more things this morning and talk some more basketball.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
If you're the head coach.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. With up-to-the-minute odds, stats, and trends, you can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop or mobile device. Head to BetOnline today to become part of the team. And remember to use the promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yeah.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Abe from Woodland. Read about it.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. With up-to-the-minute odds, stats, and trends, you can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop or mobile device. Head to BetOnline today to become part of the team. And remember to use the promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yeah.
Guys, up top, they're actually having fun being on the video stream. I knew DQ would come around to it, but sure seemed like there was a lot of pushback at first. But now, it's a lot of fun. Again, the Morning Rush, halftime, Ruskin and Zach, always on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Twitch each and every day. So if you're ever out of the state or you just want to watch our bright and bubbling faces, you can do so on those platforms. And you can also hear from our friend Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources, who now joins us. Larry, what is going on here on this Tuesday, my man?
Good morning, Ty. I'm just getting ready for a big day over at the Mitsubishi store in Springdale. I'm going to be there today. David's got the day off. This will be a perfect time to come in and kind of take advantage of us. Get a terrific deal on a new Mitsubishi, and we've got a good selection. 24 Outlanders, the 24 PHEV Outlander, look that car up. 64 miles a gallon, kind of does it all for you, and just a terrific. We got one of those in the Rally Art Edition, which is just a beautiful car if you haven't seen that. We've also got the least expensive new car in America, the Mitsubishi Mirage. We've got a selection of those as well, along with the Eclipse Cross. Get your payments on that car somewhere around $399 with about 20% down. Just a terrific deal. So we've got the big incentive, 0% financing. We've got rebates. We've got the owner loyalty. If you've got a Mitsubishi, we can really help you get into a new Mitsubishi today. We've also got a good selection of pre-owned vehicles, cars and trucks and SUVs. A bunch of these are marked special. Those are the best deals on the lot. You can save a lot of money, up to $5,000 savings on these road-ready, certified used cars with warranty. We've got a great selection of them as well. So we hope you'll come and see us today. If you're going to keep the car you have, let us take care of it for you in one of the Meineke Car Care Centers. Tires, brakes, major repairs, whatever comes up, we can handle that in the Meineke Car Care Center in Springdale or in Fort Smith. Hope you'll come and see us today. Save some money at Rath Mitsubishi, 3558 South Thompson, right there at the corner of Don Tyson and 71B. We'd love to see you in there today. Save you some money on a brand new Mitsubishi. Come and see us.
That is Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources in both Springdale, where he is, and in Fort Smith. Larry, enjoy March Madness this week, my man.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. Folks, come and see us.
I know a guy that's going to be enjoying March Madness. It's our friend Sterling, who's in Center Ridge this morning. Sterling, who's your Cinderella team? Because I know you've got one picked out already, buddy. Sterling, you still there, buddy? All right, looks like we lost Sterling. Cinderella, the term that is used often, middle of March. As you look at all these different teams on your bracket, who's going to beat a team they shouldn't? Is it Drake? Is it McNeese State? Is it James Madison, who unfortunately beat Darrell Walker in Little Rock to win the, I think it's the OVC, I believe it's the OVC title. There's a lot of teams that you got to look at and you like a little bit. I don't hate Stanford being Kansas. Hunter Dickinson, a guy that you wanted in the offseason, hasn't had the best. They haven't, as a whole, collectively, haven't had the best year. He's coming off an injury. He should be ready, but I don't hate that pick.
They've gotten blown out several times
this
year. It's just, that doesn't seem like a normal Kansas team.
It does not, and that might lead you to believe that they could go on a run in the NCAA tournament. I don't hate that pick. I don't hate Florida Atlantic against UConn in round 2, in the round of 32. We saw Florida Atlantic go all the way to the Final Four last year and losing a tight one to San Diego State. I don't hate that one either. I don't hate Morehead State against Illinois. Morehead State, Kenneth Fareed, team a couple years ago had some success. Drake, like I mentioned, maybe beating Iowa State in the round of 32. Grand Canyon, coached by Bryce Drew against Alabama. There's a lot of teams on here that I am wary of in the sense that I'm scared of the higher seed losing.
That Mississippi State, Michigan State is a kind of tricky one to me. I think Michigan State, historically does well in the tournament, and Mississippi State doesn't. I think Mississippi State lost early last year, but maybe this is a different team that can make a run. I don't know. We just don't know with them.
Don't know with a lot of teams, and that's why this is fun, because you have no idea how it's going to play out. I'll take a place you can watch it, though. It's with our friends at Arts Barbecue off Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. They have those lighter menu options that you can eat. They have the smoked wings. They have a lot of different things that you can take in during March Madness. I know Tommy's a big fan of the Arts salads, and they have all their different meats that you can get on that, the ham, the turkey, and the other meats that make these salads great. And again, they have March Madness food. If you're looking for some of the best barbecue around, it's Arts Barbecue Burgers, and the $1 off the burger every Saturday at Arts Barbecue and Burgers and more off Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. So we look forward to this every year. I'm on the bandwagon of the first 4. We got that tonight. 2 games tonight, 2 games tomorrow, and then I'm going to be worthless starting at about 11:15. We got Arkansas baseball, too, on Thursday. So if you are a sports fan, this is going to be a fun weekend, which I know if you're listening to this program, you are a sports fan. Hey, last thing before we get into our next segment, I want to tell you about our friends at Champion Cycling, who can help you find the joy in cycling that's been a part of their family for many years. Maybe you're trying to lose weight. Maybe that's one of your resolutions in 2024 is to lose weight. Well, you could do so at Champion Cycling. And whether you're getting your child their first bike or maybe you're trying to get back into cycling, you can do so at Champion Cycling. They want to find your next bike with a great selection of bikes, apparel, accessories, and more. Champion Cycling, 5500 Mazur Road in Fort Smith. Find your next ride with Champion Cycling. And find your next segment coming up in just a bit. Last segment, Bandwagon Tuesday, next.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Razorback and Super Bowl champion Brett Good, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Get ready for a new year of work with limited time savings on Bobcat equipment at Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas and Rogers. Get as low as 0% for 72 months on a Bobcat compact tractor, or choose a free front-end loader when you buy with cash. Special offers are also available on Bobcat zero-turn mowers with financing as low as 0% for 48 months, or rebates up to $900 on select models. Call Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas or come by to get these great deals. Hurry, these offers end March 31st. Some exclusions apply.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
Child's plays. Touchdown.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. West Ark Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact West Ark Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drains, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. West Ark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call West Ark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for your favorite activities. Our knowledgeable staff will be glad to help you with the current specials and our new arrivals of must-have bourbons and whiskeys. Hit the cooler for some of the coldest beer in town or choose from our large selection of amazing wines. Order online or call ahead Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Barrels and Brews, voted best of the best in Fort Smith. It will put a smile on your face.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we have the biggest and best selection of premium pre-owned vehicles we've had in years. Many with low miles and those special features you're looking for, and each one road ready certified with warranty. Be sure to ask about the weekly specials that can save you up to $4,000. Road ready certified used cars and savings up to $4,000. Two more reasons all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Spring is just around the corner, and Jelco Outdoors is ready with all of your spring fishing gear. Crappie, bass, catfish, Jelco has a great selection of rods, reels, and baits to help you fill that stringer. Spring turkey supplies are rolling in daily, and the firearms department is stocked up with ammo for outdoor shooting. Spring is almost here, so get outdoors and enjoy the spring season. Stop by Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, for all your outdoor gear. Think spring, think Jelco Outdoors.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
More good news from Wave Rural Connect. If you're on the Arkansas Valley Electric Shoal Creek substation, fast, affordable internet is coming soon. That zone opens March 25th, so get ready. Amazing internet, TV, and phone from a local provider in Ozark, Arkansas is coming to you. Pre-register online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the community we serve.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forest Grin wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forest Grin has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forest Grin is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forest Grin is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forest Grin legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at GoForestGrin.com. That's GoForestGrin.com. Forest Grin Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Will your bracket be better than Matt Jones, Derek Ruskin, and the rest of the ESPN Arkansas team? Then prove it. Sign up for the HitThatLine.com Bracket Challenge presented by On the Mark Sports Bar and Grill in Fayetteville, 810 Billiards and Bowling in Fort Smith, and Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley. Registration is easy. Just find the contest on HitThatLine.com. The HitThatLine.com Bracket Challenge is also brought to you in part by Walk On Sports Bistro, Century Bank of the Ozarks, Cafe Con Chisme, Links at Chaffee Crossing, and Foghorns Wings. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC finals. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and always online at burtonpools.com.
All right, our SEC update coming at you here as we close out a Bandwagon Tuesday. From 2023 to now, 2017 to now, the Southeastern Conference has averaged about 7 NCAA tournament teams. Got 8th berths this year, which was, again, encouraging for Mississippi State and Texas A&M to be average down the stretch. Just to put that in perspective, from 2013 to 2017, they averaged 4. But we've seen Greg Sankey, the late Mike Slive, and others really push the basketball in this league. Yet, the SEC has yet to make a Final Four since 2019, yet to make a national championship and win a national championship since 2012. If that changes this year. It was weird in Nashville this past weekend. I didn't expect Auburn to do what they did. Bruce Pearl is one of the best coaches in this league. That is undeniable. They're almost impossible to beat at home. We give Kentucky credit. Those freshmen went in there and did it this year. But do you feel confident? Christian, you got one SEC team to pick from, Big C. Who are you putting your money on of any SEC program?
This is tough. South Carolina has that. I mean, I know that was with Frank Martin, but they've proven they can make Final Fours. Auburn's even proven it. Was that under Bruce Pearl when they made it?
At Auburn 2019, yes.
Yeah. Man, since Bruce Pearl is their coach and he's proven he can make it, I would actually put Auburn up there before I would Tennessee. Kentucky, I just don't. They may surprise us come tournament time, but I just haven't seen them take that next level, take it to the next level like they will need to in the tournament. We've seen them have some early exits under Cal. I think that's going to happen again this year.
Sure would be nice to see another early exit from Kentucky. I don't know if I can pick them to win my national championship or even make it far because I would hate myself if it ended up happening. I can't cheer for that program. I can't cheer for Cal. I like him to a certain degree, but it's also like an annoyance. I'm annoyed every time that he makes me laugh or every time I watch one of his basketball players have success and I kind of like him. It annoys me that Reed Shepherd is having his greatest season he is because he's wearing the wrong jersey, right? I mean, there's not any one of you that have any love lost for that basketball program.
Are they going to need to step it up on defense, or do you think
terrible?
Or do you think they can just kind of outscore people?
Cal got asked about that the other day, and I was reading some of his comments, and he talked about maybe playing 2 7-footers more, maybe playing 3 guards and 2 7-footers to because the guys are getting beat off the dribble. They're just bad on defense. I don't know if that means they'll zone more or what they're going to do. Either way, Kentucky has to get that figured out. Cal's known as a defensive coach. The offense kind of picks up in the NCAA tournament, SEC tournament. It's been the complete opposite this year. We'll see if they figure it out. That is your SEC update. It's brought to you by our friends at Burn Pools and Spas. Discover your dream pool. Dive in to Burn Pools and Spas in Springdale and their massive outdoor showroom, one of the largest in the nation. It's right off I-49 in Springdale, and it features 10 stunning in-ground pool installations, 8 fiberglass pool models, and discounts. Listen, up to $12,000. So close your eyes. Visualize that backyard oasis. You're not in the middle of the desert. You're in Northwest Arkansas. You're in the River Valley. You're in Arkansas, and you're looking at your backyard saying, this could be better with a little help from our friends at Burden Pools and Spas. Don't just visualize it. Make it a reality for this summer. They don't just build swimming pools. They build long-term relationships. Jeez, I just keep saying pools. Check them out. burnpools.com or call them at 479-756-5511 in Springdale. Take advantage. We're going to have a great summer ahead. You don't have to go to the lake all the time. You don't have to go to the neighbors. You can have your own pool in your own backyard. All right, let's recap this morning, shall we? We've had plenty of heated discussion via the McLarty Daniel hotline, some thoughts and opinions. Eric Musselman, probably the main polarizing topic. We had Nick Coffey on yesterday. I thought he gave us some good things. I've said this many times, and I'll say it again. I'm on the bandwagon if Muss chooses to go elsewhere. It's the same thought about a player here at Arkansas. If he wants to be here, then great. We want him here. If he doesn't want to be here, it's probably better off to let him go. You shouldn't have to convince him to be the Arkansas head basketball coach.
Ty, in this day and age, I'm with you. As easily persuaded as people are and as quick as people leave for different jobs or to play on different teams, just let them go. And don't freak out if somebody leaves. If they left, that means they wanted to leave. It was on their own accord, Now, if the fans or whatever have a part in why a player leaves, then that's just on the fans. And if they're not happy with that person leaving, then maybe they should, do better.
Let's talk to Sterling, who's joined us on the McLarty Daniel hotline. Sterling, I know that's you probably have some thoughts on Muss. What is your overall thinking when it comes to the head basketball coach here at Arkansas?
I'm with y'all. He wants to leave. Let him leave, and I was glad to hear that as long as the buyout was low on his end as well. If the buyout's low on the school trying to poach him, it needs to be low when we try to get rid of him if he don't turn around. And I'm one of those guys. I'm very appreciative of the 2 Elite Eight. And the Sweet 16, that was great beating Kansas. But last year was not a great year by any stretch of the imagination. Basically, last year was saved by the upset of Kansas when they were playing without their head coach. And had Debo had the game of his life. I think he scored 25 in the second half. This year, it took him 5 games to score 25. So that was kind of flukish.
Mm-hmm.
I said I'll just say this: I love Muss. I want him to stay here as long as he, just like anybody, as long as he's winning and doing good. I want him to stay here. But at the same time, this is not a good year. Last year wasn't good. I'm just saying I don't want to try to do anything extra to keep him. If he want to leave, I don't want to raise his pay. I don't want to do nothing special to make him want to stay. If he wants to leave, let him leave. Don't try to entice him to stay. That's my only thing. Yeah, guys, have a great day.
Thanks, Sterling. That is a thought I think a lot of you have, but I got to be honest. If you want to keep Eric Musselman as your basketball coach, you're probably going to have to give him more than what he's making or change the contract to his liking. Now, again, I'm not in the conversations with Eric Musselman and Hunter Yurchek or their agents. And I don't even know if I saw something. I don't know if this is true or not, if Muss actually has an agent or not. I know that was, again, I don't know if there's any truth, any merit to that or not, but I keep coming back to where I started. It's just like the player approach. If he doesn't want to be here, then he needs to go. If he wants to be here, then we want him here. I want him here. 3 straight Sweet 16s. And I know last year did not go according to plan. And I know the injuries with Nick Smith and Trevin Brazile and everyone's opinions of Nick had something to do with that. I get that. But this guy is a proven winner. He's won every single college stop he's been at. There's been 2, Nevada and Arkansas. And for the first time in his entire college coaching career, he was humiliated.
Yeah.
He was disappointed. And he reached his breaking point as a college basketball head coach. That's either going to lead him to do one or two things. Come back with the vengeance in Fayetteville, or try something elsewhere. And if he thinks he's better off elsewhere, Coach, we appreciate you getting us back to a point where we're credible again, not just in the Southeastern Conference, but in all of college basketball. We wish you well as long as you're not going to an SEC institution. And let bygones be bygones at that point.
I like to read body language, and I haven't seen any. He's been frustrated this year. Don't get me wrong. There's been times where it looks like he's just kind of at his breaking point, but I think that was just more so frustrated with the team. I haven't seen anything to lead me to believe from him that he doesn't want to be at Arkansas anymore or anything like that. Maybe you've seen that, Ty, but I haven't.
Got a text in here on the 479 saying if he leaves, give Chris Beard a blank check. Ole Miss started hot, didn't end the season so great. Will Wade and McNeese State would be interesting to see how fans would respond to potentially vetting him. Other college basketball coaches are interested in this job. Okay, this is not a one-off year where all of a sudden you have pushed away. If, again, this is all contingent if Eric Musselman was to decide to go elsewhere. This is not a Hunter Yurchik decision. This is an Eric Musselman decision. This is not a Board of Trustees decision. This is an Eric Musselman decision. If he wants to stay at Arkansas as the head basketball coach, he's going to be the head basketball coach here in Fayetteville next year. But if he decides to go elsewhere, this is a job that a lot of people will ask about. You will be surprised at who asks about this job. It's not the best job in the SEC, but at its fullest, at its highest extent, it's the second. And I'm not the only one that said that before.
One thing Muss has done is if he does leave, he's definitely left the program better. And like you're saying, Ty, to your point, we're not just going to have to settle for some no-name, unproven coach, I don't think.
I wouldn't think so either if that's the direction that this thing heads. I'll give you some directions. How about head to the All-American Steakhouse and Sports Theater for March Madness? You ever been in their bar? It's awesome. Mark and Laura, woo! It is a good time. We always have a good time watching games there, doing shows there. And a lot of you have stopped by and seen Ruskin and Zach and seen the different shows they do in the afternoon. Well, you need to stop by for the NCAA tournament. They have received numerous awards for the best overall restaurant, chicken wings, sports bar, steakhouse, new restaurants, and more. Their event room is perfect for parties and banquets. Plus, you can sign up for rewards points, too. And their happy hour is incredible. It's the perfect place to watch all the madness here in March. Check out the allamericansteakhouse.com or just come on and see for yourself. Again, it's the All-American Steakhouse and Sports Theater off Sunset in Springdale. Appreciate everyone joining us this morning. Appreciate Sterling and everyone else that phoned in on the McLarty Daniel hotline. There is still a lot to discuss tomorrow on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Got basketball tonight. Looking forward to it. Baseball this weekend. Can Arkansas hold up its end of the bargain? Get 2 of 3 in Auburn against a ranked opponent. Auburn, I think, lost this past week, if I remember that right. They dipped a little bit, as did LSU.
Staying 2 of 3, man.
Yeah, they 2 of 3. That's what Phil said yesterday on halftime. That's what Chuck was saying yesterday. You would love to walk away from Auburn, Alabama on Saturday night with 2 of 3 games. Probably going to hear from Dave Van Horn at some point this week. We appreciate everyone joining us here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. For Christian Johnston, I'm Ty Richardson. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're back in these chairs tomorrow at 6 a.m. for a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
Hello there, homeowner. Roger Scott for Leaf Guard Gutters of Arkansas. Are you tired of dealing with clogged gutters, climbing ladders, and worrying about potential damage to your